Hello, YouTube. Hi, Dave. So this is Death Stranding's endgame. Yep, that's exactly correct. In fact, you're about to see the, the final evolution of Homo potatoes. All right, Morty. I don't know if you saw the link I sent you, but we are ready to go. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about today. It's been a interesting couple of
getting double voice now.
Right. Let me turn on my stream share so you can turn off the stream. Okay. Should now have me on your view screen. I'm getting a bit of echo from you though. Hey, Moose.
I can see you. There is, yes. Bear with me. Let me mute myself.
So make sure my YouTube's not open as well. I know you might have been checking that. I hear the great Mort in the sky. Yes. The floating brain is eternal, immersive, and impermeable. Tacos! Oh my god. Yeah, sorry for the sparse STFC streams recently. I've been going through some classic games. We did LA Noire, Mafia 1 and 2, Red Dead Redemption. Now we're playing Death Stranding. Man, this like ambient next generation stuff makes me just want to relax. I feel like I'm a potato floating in space. Whee! Needs a Krang V tub thingy for when he. Yes, he does.
Yeah, 100%. I think I fixed it. The Discord issue where it had my output coming through my desktop screen instead of through my headset. So that's fun.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, it sounds good to me right now.
Yeah, it's been a while, Mosh.
It has. It has. I think it's been 4 weeks now since our last one, or 3. It's been a while.
I think it's about 4. This is when we were meant to. We're still on schedule. We just missed the one. Yeah,
we just skipped
2
one.
weeks behind, but that's all good.
Yeah, there'll be a compensation pack tomorrow with 5 emergency potato rations, a stale Dorito, and a bottle cap, courtesy of Fleet Mines Incorporated.
Amazing. Now we're going to actually have to come up with that, Mosh. Just give me some time with ChatGPT. We'll work something out.
We're sorry. We're sorry. Yeah. Can you please give us another $100? Thank you. So you can keep playing the game.
Sorry. We're making changes. Oh, man, that's bad.
Okay, so we have
us together.
Yes, we have a packed show full of positivity and celebration. So let's get right to it. So the first item is the GM update. the state of the game, September 2025, from Scopely. So let me make sure I'm sharing my screen with everyone. There we go. And let me just make that a little bit bigger so everybody can see. All right. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
so
this.
as we know, the GM Connor kind of put a video out a couple of weeks ago, and this is kind of like a follow-up to that. Basically, where they're saying they're changing the direction of the game in terms of like monetization, in terms of like the low-level players, and making sure that they're spending more time catering to them and making your progression, I guess, feel more valuable in the sense of like having a 70 player still feel like they're a 70 instead of like, oh, you're hitting the same hostiles as like a 20 player because of the new mechanic, which just doesn't make sense. But yeah, they've changed up the battle pass, I think, this month for low level players going forward, where they've taken away the choice rewards, and they've given them more materials and resources as a result. And it's kind of a new arc for them, focusing on like the Reliant and the Franklin as well, which I think that's good, to split them up, because they really struggle to design for the higher level players and the low level players in the same arc. So I'm looking forward to these changes going forward.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that, because I want to make sure I understand what they're saying. And so I'm going to kind of need your help on this one a little bit, because when I think this was in our last podcast, we watched the video of GM Connor saying, hey, you know, we had big plans for Flashpoints, and we wanted you to experience a dynamic changing world, not be disappointed, blah, blah, blah. That didn't pan out. Right, that's message one, and like they're sorry about that. They wanted it to be more interesting. And then message two was, we want to make sure that like lower ops feels like the game is in fact like relevant to them too. We want like higher ops and lower ops to both feel like they're getting something out of the game, right? And then the third part was, hey, we want to make sure we're not invalidating player progression. Is that a fair summary?
Yep.
So
and the third part for me, the invalidating player progression, like you feel that. Go ahead, Mosh.
No, go ahead, guys.
I was just saying, like, we've really felt that in the last couple of months. Like, well, we'll talk about it later, but like, look at aggregation loop, where it's basically, hey, regardless of how powerful you are, you're hitting 1 or 2 hostiles or 3 hostiles, depending on your building level. The month before with Transigen, you're taking hazard damage. Everyone's taking the same amount of hazard damage. You've got chasers that you can't speed up because they're chasers. Yeah, so it really feels like it doesn't matter how strong you are in the game or how much time you've invested, you're starting each new loop at ground zero. And the same with everybody else, which doesn't always feel the best.
Yeah, so that was our, I guess, interpretation of it, right? So because I want to go back to the video, because this is the that update was August 14th, and then this new state of the game was September 4th, right? So on August 14th, they said, you know, they're pausing flashpoints. They're going to have more focused events, reduced noise, more meaningful goals, and events targeted for your specific level range. I guess this was like in response to feedback that there's just a lot to do, we can't keep up, or something to that effect from players.
Yeah, so that was because we had Makala's Crucible on day one of flashpoints. So basically, it's like a whole new loop that we had to learn, as well as intensive Crucible mini-series, essentially, which is like 5 days of completing lots of different tasks within the game. So it was super time-consuming, and also at the same time, there was a change to material spend, which was only your level of material. So for G6 players, it was G6 only. So they made a lot of like key changes to lots of little game elements that kind of just like threw everybody out for a loop, because it wasn't one change, it was multiple things on top of each other that kind of broke people. Even though, yeah, the rewards are great for the Crucible, but learning any new loop at the beginning is just, you needed like a day or two to kind of adjust.
It was like craziness for the first
week. It was a big thing.
Okay. So okay, I remember now. So like, you know, the takeaway from that should have been, we're gonna be more careful about event overlap, not this like whatever, reduce noise, more meaningful goals, but like all this like grandiose language. Like, no, you just schedule too many things at once. Move some of them. That's it. Like, that's all that was needed there. Mid-game commander support. Dedicated content for G3 to G4 commanders to highlight the best of the current game and guide progression into newer content. Performance focus, recognition of past progress. These are all things I understand, right? Like, performance focus being like the game client will try and make it work better, right? Less buggy. Recognition of past progress is what you've talked about, which is, hey, like if I worked on my Gorn Eviscerator or my Monavine, or like if I advance my officers or my research or my artifacts, like they should still be relevant today, right? Okay, so I'm just making sure I'm not like whenever someone says something that sounds insane to me, I can't come up with a better description. The first thing I do is I go back and try to understand, did I misinterpret? Like, is it me? Like, was I like reading something into what they said before that wasn't there? Is it wishful thinking? And now there's dissonance because what I expected based on my misunderstanding does not match the reality that I am now seeing, right? So I wanted to make sure that I didn't completely like misinterpret or misremember what they said before. Because in the state of the game, September 25, like 3 weeks later, they're saying they're blaming the fact that they tried to cater to all ops levels for like the state of the game, and that they're gonna just focus on 51 plus content, and G3 and G4 players should be playing not during the arcs. Like literally, we actually see G4 play more between arcs than during them. We're changing course. So are they changing course from what they said they were going to change course from 3 weeks before that? Like, or is this just bad wording?
I think it's bad wording, but you're right. Like it does all their documentation kind of just reads weird, doesn't it? It's like, just tell me what is the key words you're trying to say instead of saying like generic language as well. Yeah, exactly. Like that's why like whenever you've got different content creators as well doing reviews of the same content, you're like, why are you interpreting it 100% differently to the way I interpreted it? It's because of how they word things. Of course, we're going to think differently.
Everybody kind of projects their own hopes and aspirations to it. Because it's not at all clear what they're trying to say. Yeah,
exactly. And I don't know, Red, if it's gone through AI or not, because there's always spelling errors in all the documentation and communication. So you'd think AI would fix the spelling errors.
We know ChatGPT would do better. This is not.
Yeah, probably. It's really good at summarizing stuff, though.
I don't think I've seen like spelling errors in ChatGPT garbage yet. So there is that. Okay. So,
but yeah, the last 7 years of go ahead, Mosh.
No.
The last like 7 years of mentality, which has always been like we've heard it time and time again, push up ops, right? So like the goal of the game before the new supposed changes was push everybody to the end of the game because they think that people at the end of the game spend more money, which isn't really true, because when you get to like 70 now, a lot of the 70 players, if you spend, then you don't have anything to do because you're spending to fast track or complete the current loop, which is a major issue. So because of that, I think they've just forgotten about like the G3, G2, G4 players. They're going, here's a hostile hunt, and it's just like, well, of course they're not going to really play the game if there's like nothing fun or interesting to do. And they're not really going to, some people would spend up to get to the current state of the level, which is probably going to be 50 going forward, where the new content's going to drop, because they had packs as well, where it's like, hey, you want to skip G2? Yep, here's a straight to 30 pack, or here's a 10 plus levels to 40 pack. And like, for me, that's the wrong way to go about it, because you're invalidating all this content that exists in your game, which can be enjoyable and was enjoyable at the time that I went through it.
One of the most interesting things about,
instead of just being like, here's the end, just be like, let them play the game.
Exactly. Like for me, like 0 to 10 and 10 to 20 were completely different from 20 to 30, and like 30 to 39 or whatever was a whole different thing, and then 40 to 49 was like it was all like when the game got boring, I would go up to the next grade and everything would just like get pulled up, like the rug would get pulled up from under me. I'd be overwhelmed. But that's also interesting and exciting because there's new stuff to learn, new stuff to figure out, and new challenges to conquer. And then eventually you get comfortable with them and you can decide. Like, I think that was like a big asset of the game. This idea of making people skip ops, I think, is silly, as you're pointing out.
Yeah.
So they're saying, we see more we see G3 and G4 players play more between arcs than during them. I don't think that's a complicated issue. The between arc events are the Mega Cube event, the Ceres, right? And like, okay, so Mega Cube it's really relevant for like players in their ops 20s, right? Because that's
for sure.
Like
getting sourcing, Armada starts.
Yeah. In fact, the Borg Mega Cube event is kind of like completely irrelevant after like Ops 50. Like there's no point. You have so much, like, there's no point. Like, I don't even do Borg Armadas anymore because I have enough for like a year worth of turn-ins. And like, how do you not know this? I guess is my point. It's like the Vidar is the best, like, the specialty ship you get at 25, and like, and it carries you carry it all the way, like a Vidar and then the Talios all the way throughout G3 and G4. The Protector is the most important ship because it gives you like all those refineries, which give you all those other ship stuff, like help your Voyager and your Mantis and your Stella and vice versa. They help it and like, well, of course G4 players care about Ceres. And DeMarco is like one of the most impactful officers to unlock because once you have it, suddenly you can do Armadas 10 ops above what you could do before. Like, what do you mean? This isn't because your arcs, like, and when they release a new arc, it's like, oh, we have to make it challenging, so they make the hostiles hard, and also they want to sell ships, so they make it require a new ship. But the new ships aren't really like an ops 30 player isn't gonna.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, there's multiple points that you've touched on there as well. Like the challenging aspect, they're like, oh, we've got to make it super challenging. Well, that's because you've got players who are in there, like Ops 70, late game 70, who've been there for 6 to 12 months, who literally have nothing to do except what's in the new arc, right? And so they've gone, oh, those players need a more bigger challenge, so we'll make it hard for everybody. And it's like, well, yeah, it's hard for everybody, but it's only probably fun for the late Ops 70s, the 60s who are transitioning, or the early 50s. It's almost impossible because they don't have all the artifacts, all the tech, like all that research. So then you've alienated like the majority of your player base to try to please like the really hardcore people. The better way to go about it, have actual endgame content for those people to do on a loop at whatever time they want to do, because like, you're just going to be so bored if there's nothing hard to do. But then if you make everything super hard, you've alienated the majority of your player base. And like specialty ships now as well, like they are a ship, research, a refinery, officer sourcing, whatever else, because they have to add more to it, right? Like the only way you're going to buy the next ship is if it's got 15 different things attached to it. So you're not really buying the ship. It's like a DLC pack. You're buying the DLC pack to the game. So if they continue down that model of sourcing, then basically if you don't buy the DLC, then you don't play the DLC.
Yep. Your access to the content is gated for at least 100 days. And during those 100 days, there'll be a bunch of other lucrative events that you can't participate in or can't do well in, or, or like you have to really grind to complete the same events as somebody with a Reliant or with a GS31 or whatever can do fairly easily, right? So... But I guess what I struggle with is they already have built-in systems to give different events to different people at different ops. Why is it like, why do they need to make some sort of big decision about arcs focusing on this ops or that ops? Like, as long as the events have good rewards and involve a variety of activities, people will like them, enjoy them, and play them. Like, I don't, this isn't, I feel like they're overcomplicating things.
Yeah, they generally do. And I see you, Buckman. Thank you for the pretend that I have a witty one-liner to throw in at this point. Yeah, keep doing that. It's great. But yeah, they get it wrong though. Like they don't, because when you're coding like one event for like 70 levels of player or 60 levels of player or 50 levels a player. Like, look at the last run that we had. Like, Echo is the current arc runner, right? And he's like, okay, I've got one event that, thank you, Advert, for the 100 biddies as well. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Like, he's got one event, right? And he's like, oh, all players are going to be doing the same event. So basically, all the rewards should be the same. Well, it's not really that case. And he was like, oh, he realized afterwards, like, basically the day after, and then had to issue compensation chests because G6 players were getting G5, G4 rewards.
Wait,
so
really?
it's super complicated for the arc runner, I guess, that
I mean, I don't
code for so
like,
many different people because there's like 50 variations of the same event. No, it's him. It's the problem of the person, though, Mosh. I'm saying, like, the system they've set up is not designed for. It's not designed to be easy. So if you're the person trying to write these events, it should be much more streamlined for you as a person. But the fact that they have to create like 20 or 30 different versions of the same thing, no wonder why there's mistakes. It's too hard for that person.
So because they kept adding different types of currencies and materials and ships and ops levels, now there's so much of it that even they can't like line up their spreadsheets that they give, like that where they map out the event rewards. Like they don't, it's hard to remember.
Well, even the hot stuffs to hit. Yeah, think about elite solo waves as well, Mosh. Like G60 players or G5 players had to do the G6 or the you know what I mean, like the harder waves, because they didn't realize, hey,
stuff. Like
60 is still G5, it's not G6.
They could have given me access to the elite waves, and I would have done them, and I would have told them, like, give me like 3 different accounts, right? Like an Ops 60 in my alliance, an Ops 50 and Ops 40 in my alliance. Like I could have just tested them with their ships and officers and been like, yeah, this stuff is too hard for these levels, or no, this is doable. Like we could have figured it out. I don't know. I just have, I guess, a lot less understanding for, hey, it's hard to do our job. Like I don't. I feel like,
no, I'm not making excuses for them either, Mosh. I'm just saying, like, this is what
you're saying. Complexity breeds mistakes, right? Like too much clutter and complexity makes it easy for mistakes to happen, right?
Plus, there's systems that they work with, yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't like. I've been, I hear other content creators talk about like the engine, the Unity version, and this and like it's like a coping. It's like a negotiation. It's a stage of grief when you're trying to negotiate with the bad thing. When you're like, well, maybe if you beat us with your left hand, it will hurt less. Like, no, the game should just work. They get paid money for this. This isn't a charity. They make lots of money every month. They for a player to fully engage with the content, you got to spend $100 or $200 a month in this game. Okay, that's what most of the people
100%
that like are in their core target audience pay each month. Like the people, like I watch, like, and I listen to people in other streams, chats and stuff. Like, people are spending $100 to $200 a month. That's a normal amount that people are spending. And like, what do you mean? Like, Netflix charges $15. When I go to watch a thing, I can watch it. It's there. It's never like not there. It's never like, yo, this thing that you are watching. No, actually, we're gonna tell you you're on season 5, even though you were on season 4. Like, it just like I pay money for a thing and it works, and it's a video game, and if I pay money for it, I should be getting a game. I don't know.
I agree with you 100%, Mosh. Like we as players have been in like a stage of grief or a stage of like bargaining or reasoning since day one. Like, the game has never been perfect. There's always been issues around like player retention and progression and enjoyment, and month to month we keep telling ourselves it's going to get better. So, and now we've got the GM Connors update and we've got the September update, and we're basically going, yeah, it's going to get better. And then if it doesn't, we go back through the same cycle of going, okay, well, maybe next time they'll get it right. But I agree with you. Like, you spend money in a game.
Not this to, like, I don't want to like sit here.
This game is so unique that it's, yeah, go ahead.
I, I don't want to sit here and poo-poo the game and point out all the things wrong with it, because I feel like we've done that enough. I guess what I'm saying is, I wish that the players and the community would stop trying to reverse engineer and engineer new solutions, and instead just focus on the feedback that you give. Say what you like and why you like it, what you don't like and why you don't like it. Stop trying to like contort yourself into gymnastics about why this thing is bad, or why that person is incompetent, or why the content, like, it's irrelevant. I don't care why my Uber was late. I only care that my Uber was late and I didn't get to the airport. I am paying money for a service. If I don't get the service that I like, then I'm going to be unhappy. It's not up to me to make sure your tires had enough air pressure. And we're not going to have a conversation about that. I'm not going to sit here and talk to my Uber driver about the logistics of why he was late. I'm just going to give him a 3-star and go to my, like, next time order a Lyft or something. That's it. And like, this is a business.
Yeah. I agree. I'm guilty 100% of that.
Okay. So yeah,
September update.
Yes. And I'm not trying to like,
yeah, go ahead.
None of this is directed at you or any specific person. It's just like,
no, I know.
I need like a rhetorical straw man to talk at, because this is a thing I see, and then I'm just like sitting here thinking, why are we trying to decipher what version of Unity engine they have and whether or not that's causing the issues on Samsung, folks? It's not my fucking job. It's not your fucking job. It's Scopely's fucking job, and they should just do it. Other games work on phones, and they don't have these problems. Like, Candy Crush doesn't sit there and give you an apology video about why their latest update didn't meet standards. They take your money and give you a video game. Okay.
Yeah, but we need to know why, Mosh. We're
nerds. That's what it is. We're a bunch of nerds, and we just can't help ourselves.
Tiny community. We just need to know why.
Yeah. We want to get into nitty gritty.
Like process management. Like, there's probably heaps of people that work in process management, or
yeah. We want to crawl into the Jeffries tubes at Scopely and find out what kind of tribbles are clogging the lines. That's what it is. Okay.
But like, think like in your imagination as well. It's like, how does this happen? Like, why are we here where we are? It's like, are they sitting in there playing like beer pong, or like, like playing like Minesweeper or whatever? Like, I don't know. It just boggles my mind, because going back to the other, I'm going to probably do it again, but going back to the other video where they're like, hey, Flashpoints is great. It's like the behind the scenes dev video of how an amazing job we did. That aged like milk, but it's like,
I remember that video. Yeah.
What's happening in that work environment?
I guess maybe that's where I'm a little privileged. Like, having been around crappy enterprise software, I don't sit here and wonder how this happened. I just can't really say it out loud why it happens. But it's not some great mystery to me. It's just janky from the ground up, and instead of fixing the jank, they just kept Jengaing on top of it, and the tower's taller and taller, and things are going to break. And when they break sufficiently to where it's causing problems, they go and do their best to like patch things up or address like the biggest problems. But the incentive structure and the business model and the monetization and like doesn't really allow for a 3-month project where you refactor the netcode or something like that. It just doesn't work like that. Like they're,
yeah.
So like the solution to all of it would have been to build it correctly. And now that it's built that way, it is what it is. Just what I would do if I was like in charge of Scopely would be speak plainly and honestly, and not bullshit, and not come up with these like grandiose like pronouncements and philosophies, and just recognize the kind of game that you are, that people still enjoy it, despite the fact that it isn't a dynamic changing universe of like every day I log in and the map of the galaxy has changed and the number of hostiles is different. Like, I don't need any of that. Obviously, I don't. Like, we're playing the game right now.
No, that's not this game.
Yeah. Like, just recognize what is cool and fun about your game, and just work on adding more of that and making that interesting and engaging and doing it well. You don't gotta become like EVE Online, because that exists and you're not it.
Because that exists already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they said, they said, here's what they're changing. So to stay on the September subject, they're shifting the battle pass with G3 away from choice rewards. I don't. They say we're looking to make building up of your materials and resources by extension progression more safer for new players. We'll review player feedback and then after first cycle. So when they say they're shifting it away from choice rewards, does that mean they're giving just straight up materials?
Yeah, and like they're giving both. They're giving like ore, crystal, and gas, as well as steel, titanium, and dilithium. Basically, because they're like, okay, you need everything always. So instead of letting you just get all of one, you're just going to get everything because
how does that change?
You need everything.
I can already just get one of each. What?
Yeah.
Do they not think players know how to click?
I don't know. Yes, that's what I think. I think they think players are just going to click one thing and then they're going to be like, oh, I don't have any crystal or titanium. It's like, well, you've got all ore and gas.
The reason players are complaining about not having enough materials is because they don't have enough materials. It's not a UI issue.
Yeah, no, I know that.
It's in G3, you need a ton of gas, a ton of, like, a significant amount of crystal and a significant amount of ore. And the daily drip of the refinery is infinitesimal. I remember G3. It was a year ago. I was there. It's like, they should also know this because, you know, they do this for a living. You just need an F ton of gas. And without, like, if you don't buy the 2, like, research efficiency primes, you're always like, well, do I get a research or do I upgrade a building or do I upgrade a ship? Or realistically, none of them. Especially if you don't buy like ticketed events and stuff. There's just not, like, it will take you like a year if you don't spend on something that gives you materials. Yeah, Red has an all. He said it's no better.
I agree with that as well. Yeah, but I guess I'm not trying to make excuses or anything, but as a casual player, right? If you're a casual player, you log in once a week and you have like a 20 to 30 account, like you probably. It is easier for you just to get whatever rewards you get without having to worry about going through the event store and all these different things as well. But again, for us, Mosh, like if I was a player like us, of course I want choice rewards because I know how to upgrade my account and I know what to work on. So
Ryan
like, I guess they're trying to say that they don't trust the players at that level.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna
Star Trek EVE Online. Okay, Ryan.
Yeah, so there's 2 things, right? There's like the players not knowing what to get, and there's the expiration. I think the expiration has a very easy choice, an easy solution. Don't use a different currency for the choice rewards for each month. Like, why does that need to expire? Like, I get why a lot of things expire, right? But that's not one that needs to expire. It's just crystal. Okay, it's just gas. Just like let players hoard it. Who cares? Like everything in the game uses that stuff and just let it carry over. And if somebody hoards it so long until they get to G6 and then they use it then, okay. Good luck getting to G6 without using any of your choice rewards. Like I will wait 6 years for you to do that.
Exactly. You need to use them.
And if they're able to do that because they're spending money, then they're spending money anyway. What's the problem? Like simple, right? This is what I mean when I think one of the big issues I see is like Scopely in general wants to do good by the players within the framework of the way they make money or the way they think they are going to make the most money, right? Because sometimes they shoot themselves in the foot on that front. But in general, I understand. And in general, they want us to have a good experience and they want players to be able to progress. Sometimes they have these weird like internal rules that they think they need, but some of them they don't need. Like choice rewards expiring is not one that they need. I don't think Scopely revenue would not go down at all if they just kept the same currency for all choice rewards and let you carry it from like, I don't know. What's like, we already have field rations that give you materials. What's the big deal? Like, it's the same thing. Like, these don't ever expire.
No. I think there's the sense or the need of hand holding as well. It's like, well, a lot of the feedback is this is confusing or this is too hard or I don't understand what's going on here. So I think it's that level of hand holding probably has gone a bit too far where a lot of us don't need it, but they've like implemented ways where no, we're controlling how you're going to spend or the time you spend or the events we run control how you play the game. So there is massive amount of like hand holding and guiding. But yeah, finding that balance I think is important though, because half the fun is just working stuff out yourself without the game telling you exactly what you're doing and how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like just again, I'm trying to think back to when I was in third. There were a lot of times where I spent some resources on something, and I really regretted it, and then I felt really stuck, and that I felt that unless I spent some money, I just assumed that was by design. If Scopely doesn't want that, there's lots of ways to make that stuff easier. There's lots of things you could have undo buttons for, or just make resources more available so it's not as punishing when you make a mistake. But ultimately, I think like this is another example. This is a pattern I see where players have a valid criticism, like, hey, things are too confusing. And Scopely hears that and then does something which sort of kind of maybe could be construed to address that, but doesn't really address it at all. So I'm using the G3, we're shifting away from choice rewards to like just giving you the actual material that we think you need as an example, because players are saying like the complaint about choice rewards is that they're expiring and that there's not enough of them. If you want people to progress through G3, just give them more mats. If you want people to progress through G4, increase the amount of ship parts that you give via events. And if you want people to progress through G5, increase the mats. Again, that's it.
Yeah. I think it's a timeline issue as well, Mosh, because like you're right, they do want the pay gates at certain points of the game, but they don't go back and address when they don't want them anymore. So I've recently seen with the G4 refinery just be exponentially loaded with materials because they want people to move through G4 now. But yeah, they have to go back and actively work on it every month because the game changes every month, and they don't do that. So then you're going to get these weird things like, oh, we think that, yeah, you need to have this or that because like that's what's happening is they don't update content based on current content.
Right. Yeah.
The always different.
The monthly arc launch, like new content, new pay content. There's no budget there for like an arc runner's job isn't to be like, how does this impact every other arc that came before it? And what are the things that we have to go back and retroactively like, yes, that might be something they have to like, it's an organizational issue or it's a process issue where it's just not they haven't set us like it's not part of their process of like how does this affect old stuff and that maybe that's a conscious choice. I don't know. Like I don't necessarily know that they need to. Go ahead.
I'm just sorry, Mosh. I'm just saying like that's probably why we have the split arcs now. That's why we have an arc for Ops 20 to Ops 40 and an arc for Ops 40 to 70, because maybe they're two different people doing them and they can look at those levels specifically and tailor the design to be like, okay, well, we realize that we should have changed all these things a year ago, but okay, let's see what we can change within this arc.
What is an arc though?
Maybe we'll give players a reline for
events,
free.
Right? It's events, submissions. So, like, does the arc runner design the officers too?
I don't think so. I think, yeah, I think design or whatever, like all these things get put together, and the arc runner is like events or
they coordinate the calendar. Did they like schedule things?
Yeah,
and like they have a budget of rewards that they can distribute through. Like I guess all the things they hand out as part of the arc, like the rewards, have some sort of value, and the total value of all of them can't be above X amount. That's their budget, right? That's the arc. Okay,
that's my understanding.
I mean, so when you say there's different arcs now for like different ops, so I guess the new aggregate hostiles are level 45 plus. So what are like G3 players doing right now? They just don't have any events for the aggregate hostiles, right?
Yeah, that's my understanding. Unless someone in chat in G3 and can let us know as well. But I believe the Battle Pass is different and it's more focused around the Reliant this month and the Franklin as well. So one core ship being the Reliant. Franklin, I guess, is still a bit core to the game, but it's been such a long time since I've been at that ops. I don't know if you actually need it as well. Some of its parts. Thank you, Adva. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but it's targeted more to those players.
So I'm curious now because
yeah, let's have a look at the events if it works.
I remember that some of its parts like phrase. Oh, it says level 20. Well, how do I find it? I'm not seeing anything called some of its parts. 41, no aggregate, but still have choice rewards.
Could be the website just hasn't updated.
Is it in the patch notes?
I think Adva's linked. Let's check that link.
That was just the news page. Way down at the end of the villains release. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it says during update 82, we're introducing mid-level event tracks for Ops 20 to 44 that lean into core progression and ship-focused objectives. In Villains Part 1, use the Franklin Ops 20 to 25 and the Reliant 26 plus. Look forward to Ops segmentation across the event calendar for improved difficulty and rewards. Expect Ops segmentation. Yeah, note these are a shift in objectives only. Sourcing for the Franklin and Reliant remain unchanged. Well, that's interesting. Why is the sourcing unchanged if you're providing events targeted to these ships? So, where are you looking, Mosh? This is in Villains Part 1. And there's that as well, yeah, 14 to 15 too.
Villains Part 1, okay. New mission.
Yeah, so if you scroll down, a focused experience for G3 and G4. There you go.
Because they really want you to buy packs for these ships. I guess that's the answer to your question. They're like, listen, if you're not going to come up to the ops where our new ships are that we want you to pay for, then we're going to make you pay for the crappy ships you do have now that are garbage and you shouldn't actually spend money on, but we're going to like make it so you can't do right. Instead of like, because like they struggled with having the Reliant, like there was a lot of complexity to the Reliant being a ship you can get at Ops 26. And then like people at Ops 70 were buying it and then they couldn't use it for anything because it takes forever unless they spent like thousands of dollars to tier it up 9 tiers before they could actually even get any benefit or whatever, right? Like, because they didn't tune the tiering up parts. Like, when they release these ships, like, yeah. I'm actually going to try and explain what I think is the core problem with, and then why their solution is just completely backwards. So we need to go back to when the Reliant came out. Serene Squall, Shatter Alliance.
Wrath of Khan, Part 2.
There it is. Mid-month patch, away teams, Part 2. Okay. So usually when they release a ship, there's a table that tells you what the ship parts are like, right? From the refinery. You know what I'm talking about? Where
yeah, it could be
maybe it's in a different thing.
One of the news tabs after that, because I think they did an update. Yeah, their news is hard to navigate, isn't it? It's like, can you just give me a list of like it in like a different
arcs,
form,
yeah.
make it easier to search?
No.
Yeah.
Shouldn't there be one for like introducing the Reliant? There you go. So sometimes there's a table. There isn't one. But like there's probably a spreadsheet for this. Check. Oh, thank you, Agba.
Yep. I'm just like, hey, listen. Hey, listen.
Okay.
Doing well with the advert. Normally the potato rarely checks chat or anything, so you're doing well.
You must have added them to the calendar right now.
Yeah, we're looking for olds because, like, yeah, we need to.
Does anyone have the spreadsheet for the Reliant parts? So
you want the table?
Yeah, like okay, I'll just try and use words to explain. There's a grid that says a tier 1 Reliant. Every day you get this many Reliant parts. If you're ops 20 to 30, if you're ops 30 to 40, you get more. If you're 40 to 50, you get even more. You're like for each level bracket, the same tier ship gives a different amount of stuff, right? And the purpose for that is because like, well, an ops 70 player getting a Reliant should be able to tier it up faster because otherwise it's going to stay like it will never be relevant for them. Right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
The thing they did wrong was they just didn't like they just needed to change the scaling or the percent increase as you are in a higher bracket for how much you get. That's it. So this is something Scopely does all the time. They do something, they execute a part of it poorly, and then instead of just fixing that thing, they go, okay, well, the approach was wrong. And what we need to do is you need to have dynamic systems that change on Tuesdays, but on Wednesdays no, just go back and fix it. Like you did with like the protector's mining speed or whatever. They're so, I don't know if it's because they sell in-app purchases and they can't like nerf things after they've sold it or whatever. But
that's the issue. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's like, that's the core problem. So here is the Augment Exiles, Hostiles, Reliant, Rent Upgrade Table. Yes, there it is. So the days until next tier. At G3, getting from tier 1 to tier 2 takes 12 and a half days. But if you're a G6 player, it takes 3 days. This is correct, right? This is how they should make it but the thing they did wrong was this went from 4 to 12 to 25, 35. Like this needed to also be like 4. This needed to be like 10. If G6 players could just get to like tier 9 within a month instead of 116 days before this, like, hey, you're going to pay $100 for a new ship. You can't use it for 4 months? Are you kidding me?
They've really struggled with
like
timelines and stuff like that as well, and that's why they have like all those
spend
interim
5
events and like
thinking about
they change the research. And
if you go to McDonald's and you give them like $5 for a Big Mac and they say come back January of next year and you can eat it, what do you like? What? Just give me the thing. I paid $100 for it. Let me use it now. Like, it's bad enough that I spent $100 on a virtual item in a stupid video game just so I have something to do on my phone in the evenings when I'm watching TV and don't want to think about the state of the planet or my life. Like, at least give me the dopamine of like the money I just burned. At least let me like smell it. Like that's it. Like
but that's by design as well, right? Like they want you to buy the upgrade packs, like Psycho Jess is saying, and they want you to think it's going to take a long time. In reality, it doesn't take as long as you think. But if you psychologically think, hey, it's going to be 500 days for me to max the ship, why don't I just buy 6 or 7 upgrade packs and do it now?
Okay, well, I agree. That's the problem, right?
It shouldn't take that long ever.
It's like I went to buy a car and I had a budget of 10 grand, and they talked me up to a $15,000 car. and then I'm gonna buy it, and they're like, no, but let's add this and this, and now it's 25,000, and I'm like, okay, can you give me a loan? They're like, yes, and then we go to sign it. They're like, okay, but you also need like a spare tire and a hitch and a whatever, and now it's 50 grand. And I wanted to spend 10 grand. I was willing to spend 15, but 50, no, I'm just not fucking doing it anymore. Like, that's their problem. They just upsell themselves out of a sale, and then they wonder what happened. And then instead of just like
100%.
reducing the upsell stupidity just slightly, they go, okay, scratch all that. Let's throw the whole thing out. Let's split the two, like the game into like two different arcs, and then let's do two different arcs. Because they're so good at like getting one arc right that somehow they're gonna have two different tracks and not fuck that up somehow. Like, bro, just stop complicating stuff and just go back to the thing you did and do it slightly better. Just iterate for once in your entire existence. That's especially when you have these like multi-part arcs. Like, I would like to see them try something and then try it again, but better. Like, you did arenas, now redo arenas. Just do new arenas.
They are redoing arenas.
Are they?
That's something we could talk about a bit later as well.
Okay.
It's only taken 6 months to iterate onto it, but no, that's fine, Mosh. But yeah, like, I guess not being in that ops level myself, like, I don't really know what that experience is going to be like, if it's going to be better or worse for those players at that level. I'm really tempted to start a new account and go back through ops 20 to 25 and just to see what it's like, and just keep that account at that level just to check in and progress, like when they make these changes. But yeah, like, the game needs to be fun. They need player retention at the early levels, because anyone starting the game now, it's like, hey, all the new content is 50 plus. So if you don't have the drive or the money or the energy to get there, you're not going to be playing with everybody else. And when something new drops, you'd be talking about something old. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So
yeah, Alliance is front and center. I'm curious about that.
This is like, to me, just this talk. It's good. It's stuff you and I have talked about. Sometimes I read some of these, I'm like, yes. Do they listen to our podcast? But I've learned not to expect things until I see them. I think it's funny that they call out the vengeance and tell you, no, we are monitoring it. Please continue to buy it or spend money to try and like get blueprints for it or whatever. And that if it sucks, we'll make sure it doesn't suck. Which is fine and honestly like what I would expect. And I would understand somebody who bought one being frustrated that it's not very good or worried that it's not very good. They keep it a bit smart good. But the main thing I want to talk about with this update is the future of shipyard management. Because, so you and I have talked about how each of us plays the game, right? I like competition. I like collecting officers like their Pokemon, and I like being strong for my level. You're all about the bigger picture, like the path to 70. Like you want to beat the game, right?
1 week.
1 week. Nice. So the way that I play the game is I want to do all this. I want to like beat other people and all those things, all goals that I said without spending much money, right? Like I'm fine paying for a battle pass every month. To me, this is a $20 a month game, and I'm happy doing that. The way that I've managed to stay competitive is be like I look for all the efficiencies and all the income that I can get in the game. So whether that's from events, that's from daily drips, from refinery, or from ship scrapping. So you get efficiencies. It makes it cheaper for you to build a ship. When you scrap a ship, regardless of how much materials you put in it, you always get the same specific flat amount back. the amount you get back from scrapping a ship is a fraction of what you would have to spend to max out the ship baseline. But because they added efficiency research and items and artifacts and whatever into the game, it's now possible to like get a good return on your investment. More importantly, you use 2-star mats on some ships, but when you scrap them, you get 3-star mats. That's the thing that I've been using. Not so much like the jellyfish money printer thing, but like being able to build G3 ships and scrap them. This is something that like Adva and Major Samo taught me early on when I was playing. It was like, always be building, always be scrapping. Your scrapyard should always be working. And as I say that, I notice my scrapyard's currently not working, but that's to do with what the fact is no G5 scrapping. so like this play style of playing for the long term and through meticulous, like I've been hunting down every efficiency I can find, and I've been like every day I pull my Dolomite and I got all those, and I even bought some back when I was spending money. I have pretty much all the ship parts and material efficiencies you can get in this game. So for the past like year and a half, I've literally been singularly focused on making my account capable of having a good income so that I can self-sustain. Like that's been my goal in the game, is to get the game to where I can, by playing every day, like 2 hours a day, I have enough materials to do things and feel like I'm allowed to play the video game.
Correct.
Having materials to spend on ships that you can then scrap also allows me to acquire the new officers. So when the new officer comes out, they want you to spend $500 to max out that officer, get enough shards to do it. Or there's SLBs where one person per bracket gets to get that officer to tier 1 or tier 2 or tier 3. Like usually if I win absolutely everything in an arc, like if I'm first on, like, of all the players of 51 to 60, if I'm the one with the best score in every single SLB, I can get an officer to tier 3, a new epic officer. But that's one person in that bracket per server, right? And also I engage with a bunch of content and played every day to be able to do that. And even then, it's not like it's a maxed officer. It's like halfway to like it's a third of the way to a max officer, because the last 2 tiers take 1 billion shards. So
yes,
that's the playstyle that I feel like is under assault by Scopely. They try to make it so you can't build like G4 ships to get to score points in SLB if you're a G5 player. And there was significant backlash to that. So then they backtracked on that and instead just changed the scoring a bit, I think. And then did this like meta ascendancy event where it's like a marathon, where it's not just spend materials. It's like you gotta have engaged with like all the mechanics of the last 3 months. Krenim and solo waves, and like you gotta have officer depot tokens, and you gotta have like DTI stuff, and you gotta have like all of the specialty ships so you can upgrade some. You must have saved mats for all like
fleet commanders.
Yeah, you gotta have the fleet commanders and have upgrades for them. So you gotta have done like all the augment stuff, which was like a giga challenge. But again, it was doable, right?
Yes. And it goes back to the core fundamental, Mosh, as well, of this is player versus developer. It's not player versus player or player versus environment.
Yep. So that, even though it was like a bunch of hoops to jump through, the Ascendancy events kept me interested and engaged in the game. But like now they're saying they're not going to do scrapping for G5. So they're saying, we are committed to providing G5 scrapping solution to players that communicate this year. It would be released in 2025. We have missed this goal and will not achieve a release of G5 scrapping in 2025. We understand disappointment. Scrapping your ships accomplishes 2 goals: clearing space within your shipyard for better ships as you power up, and 2, allows you to recover some of the resources working in building and tiering the ship. The first goal of scrapping, freeing up shipyards, clear achievable. The second goal is where things have become more complicated. So they're saying they missed the mark. Or like they're phrasing it as, oh, this is something that like we wanted to do, but we're just missing a deadline on. But then later they're saying we don't like what it was going to enable. But to me, this is a bit dishonest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my first reaction on seeing, oh, we have missed this goal, will not achieve a release of it in 2025 was, why not? It's literally like, well, how many ships is it? It's 9 ships, right? It's 9 ships. And all you got to do is set a scrapping time and the amount of materials you give out for a max ship and whatever formula you apply to the other ships to get the...
Correct.
Like, it's a day. It's an intern could do it in a day. And then somebody, like, it's a week. It's a week of work.
Really easily.
Right? Like, to like review it and make sure it's tuned right.
Already.
Yeah. And to test it and all. Like, how can you possibly say we're not...
got 0 out of 2 scrapping loop as well.
Yeah. So I don't buy that. So then it comes out, then I'm going to read like further, and they say, over time, we've added more cost efficiency across the game to speed up progression, especially into later grades. Advanced new loops and other sources have also made G4 ship parts and resources more accessible. Not true for ship parts, by the way. I'm still struggling, and I have all the efficiencies for G4, and I do every day, like my my Voyager and my Eviscerator. Like, I have all the sources of ship parts in the game, including the GS31 now, all reasonably tiered, to the point where I should be drowning in G4 parts, and I'm not, because just how G4 stood. That's they say that's been good for progression, but has also raised the value of scrapping far beyond what was intended. Well, scrapping has a clear gating mechanism because you can't speed up scrapping, and you can only scrap 1 ship at a time. So what's the problem?
And ops locks as well.
Right, and it's also ops locked. So you have like 3 different levers: scrap time, like scrap queue, ops queue, and then you also have the amount of materials a scrap ship gives back. You could, since you haven't put G5 scrapping in the game yet, you decide how much they give in return. It's literally like,
correct.
What's the problem? They're just, this is like, it's not a numbers issue. It's
this, Mosh?
What's that?
Do you know what annoys me the most about this as well?
What is?
Basically, the fact that in our station, we have a scrapping building, right? People have purchased money to speed up, to upgrade that building because it requires core game materials like crystal and all that, and the speed ups, and like it's a loop that's been embedded into the game as a core mechanic. And for them to just be like, hey, we don't like how our core mechanic of the game works now, it's like, well, you've been looking at it every single month when you release new content and efficiencies. You can't be like, oh, we've released these new ships to make them really viable for new players or make them really exciting for older players, and then go, wait a second, these efficiencies actually screw up the other part of the economy. It's like, well, you've got an economist in the game. Your whole job is to work out the economy. And if you've ignored that, for people who've spent time and effort upgrading their scrapping, doing all the research around scrapping, even newer loops have scrapping efficiencies. Like, what's the new building that has scrapping efficiency too? And then turn around and say, wait a second, we've made a mistake. Well,
yeah, you sold me this. You sold me scrapping.
This was coming.
And you specifically said you were going to get scrapping for G5.
I don't understand what the problem is.
Like, you fucked up, so you eat it.
Scrapping speed. It's a core mechanic of the building. Exactly. It's a core mechanic of the building. Like, and in the new research trees, it's like, what is the problem? Like, yes, I realize that you've stuffed up your economy, but at the same time, you've got, like you said, ops gates, you've got time gates, you've got like previous generation of material gates or whatever. There's so many levers that you've said they can pull. And yeah, it's BS. They can't turn around and say, hey, we're not going to do this now, or we're going to really think about it for another 6 months. By that point, like 6 months in the game, a lot of players might have progressed even past the need of it. So it's just like,
this has had a big effect on how players really move through G5.
Disingenuous.
And it risks turning scrapping into main path of progression. Bro, that's not the experience we want. As with the G6, it grows to make sure progression comes from exploring the galaxy and engaging with other players. Shut the fuck
There's no progression there.
Shut. I have, in my entire 18 months of playing this game, I have not gotten an ounce of progression from engaging with other players or exploring the motherfucking galaxy. Holy shit!
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Go kill some FKR ships and loot their parts? That's not how your game works, you gaslighting pieces of shit.
No. There's no achievement system to say you've explored all the galaxy. Here's a million like materials or whatever. You don't get anything. You get, hey, you've seen this new system now. Here's maybe a mission that was made 3 years ago that provides rewards that are 3 years ago in terms of value. Yeah. And PvP costs you. It costs you speed ups, it costs you repairs, and potentially breaks out into war, which costs you mining. So yeah, that comment is not a good comment.
It's literally not how you get resources in this game. There's no resource. Like sometimes there's an event that requires like some sort of PvP where completing it gives you some mats. But it's like so rare. It's like once a month, and the amount of mats it gives you is nothing. So like, bro, if you want me to progress my account by exploring the galaxy, I'm doing air quotes, even though as a potato I have no hands, and engaging with other players, then okay, put that stuff in the game. In the meantime, let me scrap my fucking ships. Like to be like, that's not what you want.
Well,
this is such bold-faced, insulting, greedy ass. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's like, no, what it is we don't like that you're not paying for every second of time. Like, we just want more of your money. Just give us more money. Like, I would have respected them more if they had just said that. Like, this honestly makes me just be like, fuck this. Like, no. Like, it's so insulting, the way that they're wording it.
The other really scary and annoying thing as well is that a lot of people were pushing to just have a delete your ship button because they wanted the space to build more ships, right? And that is so anti-player, because just because you're at that point where you don't need that anymore, you've got everyone coming up to that point who still does need scrapping and still does need a reward to be gotten from it. So that's why they gave like shipyard space increase, because they couldn't justify saying, hey, deleting a ship is what we want in the game, because that just doesn't make sense. And people that were pushing for that, like that's you've got to fix the other issue. Negotiation not the way to go about it.
They're like, oh well,
it was, yes.
I built all these ships because I thought I was going to get to scrap them, and now my hangar has no space. So you need to you owe me a solution to that. And then they did the thing that I keep telling players not to do, is they recommended a solution. They came up with an asinine, idiotic, bad for the game solution, and they threw it in really Scopely's lap, and Scopely being the immature, like, you know what? They're like, yeah, what if, we should, like, it's like when they're like saying, oh, for items, we should give you, we're thinking about giving you an archive button to archive old resources. And yeah, that's an okay thing, like some players, but like the solution to this shit is to have a search box, okay, that I can type and find what I want. Like random STFC players have built websites that use the API to give you that functionality already. Let's just put a goddamn text field here and let me type and just filter to what I type. This isn't some
text boxes would be good.
Like paradigm shifting UX innovation. It's like a thing that exists in like everything else already. Like Scopely have phones, right? Just scroll up on your phone and start typing. It filters based on what you type. Every phone does this, iPhone or Android. Yep. Or you know what? Stop adding crap to the game, like clutter and a million new currencies every time you make it. Like, do one of those two things. Don't do this like, okay, now we're gonna add another button to here where you gotta select this, and then in addition, instead of like refine, you're gonna click archive, and then there's a slider for how much. Stop it. Just stop it. Just give me a search. Just give me a search. That's it.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. And I don't know, Psycho Jester as well. Like, if Spox Club does a fantastic job, but like, do they rely on these external websites that aren't created by them as a crutch to not update the game? Because, like, for me,
think they know that you can go in
like,
Spox Club and search your inventory?
Put it in the game. It should be in the game. So, yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do, Mosh. Like, realistically, like, they're...
Do they?
they'd be aware of all the different external sources that do stuff. I'm sure there would be, surely. Like, if you worked at a gaming company,
man.
right, and then you had all these people making stuff from your API, you would know. Well, you'd want to know. But yeah, I could be wrong. 100% I could be wrong, Mosh.
No, it's not that I don't think they know about Spox Club. I just don't think they know about the features of the beta version of Spox Club, and one of them being an inventory search. But like, I think Psycho's point was more that like random third-party website just added this. Like, you could just search. Like, why can't the game? Like, why can't
the game? I never understood why the game doesn't have this stuff.
Incompetence. That's it. It's literally that. There's no real reason. This is what happens. You're like, well, this is an obvious thing. This is an obvious feature. Like, you can click on a bookmark and do system lookup and start typing, right? Like, I can just start typing. Like, as you type, it filters. Why can't this technology be invented and put in the item screen? It's not because it's not possible in the Unity engine, or it's not possible on mobile. It's literally right here. Like, look at it. I'm doing it. It exists. My eyes. Stop trying to gaslight me.
Yeah, it's just they don't want to invest time in doing it.
They just haven't done it. I don't know why. I have no idea why they haven't done it. I just know that they haven't, and I know that they should, and that's where I'm going to leave my thoughts on the subject.
Yeah, one final thing about the exploring the galaxy thing as well is, like, you know, in certain systems, right, there's the little like destroyed ship with a little gray line pointing to something. I think that's what the intent was, like, originally in the game, where you could actually go to a system and get something from those things. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mosh? Where you got like a little, you've got like the Bajoran wormhole, and you've got the like, yeah, if you go to ENA 36, so ENA-36, which is one of the new aggregation systems, to the right of the map, there's a ship, a destroyed ship with a grey line, and I think that's what, like, exploring the galaxy was like meant to be, where you're meant to find these things in the universe and interact with them. So you can't get there. Use an NX. I'll find a different system, but it's I imagine like that was part of the game at some point, and they just decided to scrap that whole idea, and then they're still talking about it though, which is weird.
Like archaeology kind of in the game.
To me, that's exploring the galaxy. Weird that yours actually looks different to mine. I'll send you a snip of what I'm looking at. It is weird. That's completely different, but that's fine. I imagine that's what they intended, but they just haven't got around to doing that. Because I think that would be fun. Like, that's exploration, right? You go to a system, you've never been there before, and then you go, oh, that's cool. What does this do? Or what does that do? Or, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I think that like going out into the world and mining resources and having those resources to build, like in EVE Online, that's a thing you do, right? Like, you go and mine rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And in this game, initially I thought that's what I was doing when I was mining. But very quickly it became apparent to me that all I'm doing when I'm mining is building up a useless resource that I can then take a portion of it once a day, turn like 100,000 into 340 of this thing, right? And this is at like the max level. So when you first get into this grade, it's like mostly this stuff and not even this much. And it's, ultimately,
and
they want
the economy shifted to be,
go ahead,
or just the events, right? Like, the events have, and plus the new loop with the
if you take the base game
as well, like, a lot of these things have kind of negated the need to mine. Yeah.
If you take out all the events, right, and all of the specialty ships, and all of the like claims and whatnot, just the base game, right? The amount of loot you get from hostiles and the amount of resources you get from like mining and stuff. Take all that and then take all the costs in the game and divide it by 10 or 100 or something. Then you get an actual video game. I think the way that these games were built is they build a game and then they go and literally reduce the like increase the cost by 100-fold or 10-fold or some number across the board, so that you can then like what you're left with is a drift. What normally would have been a reasonable amount of thing that you could grind towards and get on your own becomes a drift that's just meant to remind you this is a resource that exists that you don't have enough of, with the idea you go buy it. Like one of my data points for this is Taiga Car. This is a system that is unique, like unlike other, like the amount of rewards I've noticed, not just the rep, right? The rep is much higher, but also the amount of like blueprints and other loot you got from the chests was higher than equivalent systems throughout the galaxy. And it made me think that at some point they did a pass of like loot reduction on the game and they missed this system because they had an apostrophe on it or something. You know, I don't know why. But like I always like had this like conspiracy theory that there was something special about the system that they forgot to undo.
Yeah. They didn't forget. My understanding is like as G4 was the highest point in the game at that point, that system was meant to have 42, 43 level hostiles in it. So it was meant to be a bigger system in general. They just had to reduce the number from 43 to 40 to match the system. So that's why it's got more rewards in it, because the hostiles in there aren't actually 40 hostiles. They're like 42, 43. And yeah, when they expanded the game, they just left it as it was.
So these are.
It's like just saying they did revert it as well, but
these are 40 level 42 hostiles, and they just they changed the number but didn't change the loot or something.
Yeah, the loot tables are higher than the system suggests. Gotcha. That's why people go there for speed ups and they go there for everything.
Gotcha. Okay, they need. So that was an unrelated or unintended thing, but it was for a different reason. But yeah, so like,
yeah,
just like the whole game's loot and rewards from, because I remember I was like Ops 20 something and I didn't have enough ship parts and I didn't understand you could get them from Platinum, and I was like, okay, I was trying to find like what's the best place to go farm ship parts, because I was someone who's played lots of MMOs and I was like, I don't mind grinding, and I was like going to these systems that have elite hostiles and like testing them to see like how much I don't know if this is one of them. There's a bunch of like systems here that have skull. Maybe it's this one.
You're talking about the first 4 systems with
like these separatists.
That was separatists. Yeah, that was like one of the first arcs of the game as well, before battle passes, I think, at that point. So there were there were arc specific hostiles. They weren't designed to be like long-term hostiles.
Yeah, I noticed they were tougher and they gave more loot. Not a lot more loot, slightly more loot, but they were much tougher. And I thought these must be the elites. Like that's what these must be. These must be the extra stuff. So maybe if I have the right officers, I can farm them instead of like what everybody else is doing. It's like I was exploring the galaxy and looking for hostiles to kill to get the resources I needed to upgrade my ships and progress my account. That's literally what I was doing.
Yep.
And they taught me that that's stupid. I'm stupid. Why did you do that? Why did you waste all that time doing that?
Correct.
You should just be doing events and clicking your refineries every day. And that's the gameplay loop. So
yes, correct.
For 6 years, they've done this. Like, and every ops, they've done this. The entire game is like this. To sit here and tell me, we don't want you to get resources from scrapping. We want progression to come from exploring the galaxy and engaging with other players. Like, this makes me so mad. This sentence makes me so mad. It's like, you're literally sticking your finger in my ear and you're like, I'm not touching you. And I'm like, I'm looking at, like, I'm watching them do it. I have video camera of GM Connor sticking his finger in his mouth and then sticking it in my ear and telling me that he's not doing it. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, I would love like a video display of that, right? Like what is their thinking? What does that mean to them? I would love to see it, because like they would need to design the whole game completely differently if this is the way they wanted us to play.
Ultra's gonna get me horny in the middle of an angry rant.
Welcome in, Ultra. Good to see you. And Ultra's recently created an account on APAC 204 as well, so starting the game fresh
Ooh,
once again.
nice. Are you gonna make an alt so you can camp him?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the plan. I haven't got around to it yet.
Just
Maybe
you
we'll
gotta
be in the
just
same
do it when
alliance
he's.
as well. That would be quite fun.
What's the level? Is it Ops 15 or Ops 12? It's 15, right? When you can start cracking his base.
For PvP.
Yeah. Well, what else? You gotta bully little baby Ultra.
Yeah, 100%. You know, like before, when I first was finding out Ultra was a STFC streamer on my server, the first couple of months or whatever, he used to like hunt my OPC, and I'm like, oh, Ultra's hunting my OPC, he must be online streaming. So then I'm like, oh yeah, he's telling me to come watch this stream.
You used to stream snipe Ultra?
No, he used to stream, well, not stream like me, but like he would be hunting OPC normally throughout his gameplay, and then it would just remind me that yeah, he's online now.
Oh, that's how you would know to go watch him. I thought you would then watch him and then go gank him back, but no. I guess he was.
No, like PvP, this is the thing. PvP in this game is designed in a way that just isn't rewarding. Like, as someone who's like free to play, if I spend my time PvPing and cracking bases, I lose progression.
Yes.
Because I'm not farming speed ups, or I'm not doing events, or I'm not refining max pools. So
but what about those sweet PvP
is...
chests that, according to a tooltip, can contain badges?
Oh, so good. Yeah, I've never seen a badge in a PvP chest. Not once. I've heard that they've dropped. Like, I've heard it's happened. But again, like that's like finding a unicorn in space in somewhere, like in a distant galaxy or whatever. Like, you hear these things, but no one can prove that it's happened or it's true.
Earned by defeating roaming ships. You gotta defeat some roaming ships, dude. Explore the galaxy. Listen, just.
Well, I imagine if they're playing, yeah, Mosh. If I'm playing GM Connor's version of Explore the Galaxy, like I imagine it's dropping badges, it's dropping like 1 day Sigma speed ups, it's dropping, I don't know, 10 billion Sigma par for me to use as well. Like, yeah, let me explore that galaxy. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I would also prefer doing that than like clicking this, fighting notification pips, and like spending an hour of my day in the faction stores. And I missed some. Like, I tried to do this before I streamed, but some of them got desynced, and so like I didn't do my Bajorans. And this is the gameplay loop that you do now. When you make everything so expensive and you have a drip for it, everyone's gonna want to do the drip every day, or else they like are missing out on free stuff. Even spenders do all of this every day. And turns out I gotta go do some armadas. That's the game I would much rather be sending ships, fighting hostiles, hunting down players, engaging with content in those ways than I would be sitting here clicking like the material exchange in the Bajoran faction so I can have enough materials after 69 days to upgrade one module of one of my ships that I need in a fleet of like 100 something ships. Like, I would rather be exploring the galaxy too. Maybe give me bulk refine for the faction store and I'll be doing more of that. But more importantly, maybe have some actual rewards available in this activity if you really want me to do it. But like cutting off the oxygen of other places.
Like, might as well be spreadsheets.
It's like you want me to read a book, so you like burnt the TV room. Like, I'm not gonna suddenly read a book just because like the kitchen's on fire. Like, I don't know. It's so weird. Like, especially if I don't have any books in the house, which is I think would make this analogy accurate, because they're saying go explore the galaxy and engage with other players as a path to progression. It's like telling someone who's in a house with 0 books that you're going to break the TV so they go read some books, and there's no books. I'm beating a dead horse, but
not your best analogy, but yes.
It got yeah.
It's like making public transport free, but then the closest bus stop to you is like 5 kilometers away. So yeah, one thing, causation.
Yeah,
like,
not we're just not on our analogy game tonight. All right.
Reality.
Actually, that made me feel bad.
No, that's fine. But yeah, that's fine, Mosh. I know what you're saying.
Yes. Okay, so let's. That's the September update. Anything else on this?
Well, I'm like, again, for me, I'm still waiting to see the changes. Like, yeah, this is the beginning of it. I imagine like it's moving in the right direction because they at least acknowledged things without doing anything just yet, but they've acknowledged things, right? They've said, hey, we're going to change course because what we're doing isn't working. And I'm happy about that. So I'm going to keep waiting, keep seeing. And again,
do they know
for them,
what's
it's like
not
moving
working?
the Titanic, right? It's going to take. Well,
I'd rather they
again,
not
copium,
change course
right?
if they're going to
It's copium.
misdiagnose the problem. I'd rather they not touch it.
True, I guess. Yeah.
Because
I don't know, Mosh. I don't know what the best outcome is.
oh my god.
Here.
Here's how I would summarize for anyone wondering why I've been negative recently about the game. Is there's two things about the game that I enjoy.
Recently.
Right? One is the resource management, min-maxing, and using that to progress my account, like we've discussed, which like scrapping is a big part of that. That's half of what I enjoy in this game. The other half is learning the mechanics of combat and utilizing my knowledge and expertise or like to defeat challenges, whether they're players, bases, hostiles, armadas, whatever. Like the puzzle, I think Ultra calls it crewjitsu, right? The crewjitsu of StarCraft, of Star Trek Fleet Command is what I enjoy.
Of StarCraft.
So
yeah, just blame CD Projekt Red, Mosh. It's fine.
Exactly. This is a Rockstar
issue. We need a Gwen
issue.
Balance Council for Star Trek Fleet Command.
Stop it. So,
sorry.
When we had 3 arcs, one was augment hostiles, where your ship insta dies to a chaser. One was transigen, where your ship dies to hazard, regardless of anything. And now we have a new arc where it's like a percentage of your hull is removed, regardless of anything. Like,
yeah.
That's a very long time to go without any of my officers, ships, research, artifacts, fleet commanders, or buildings having any impact on anything in any new content whatsoever. And the only thing that determines success is, did you buy the pack? Do you have the new ship? And that's it.
Correct. Yes. Correct. And this is why people are pissed off.
So why doesn't Connor understand that? Why don't other content creators understand? I don't think I've heard anybody else like articulate the fact that like my ships don't matter anymore for the last 9 months. None of my ships officers, like they're irrelevant in all of the new content. The only content where they mattered was flashpoints, where the Huron were like, and the new flashpoint armadas, your crew and officers mattered, but those are getting canceled anyway. So.
Correct. No, but you're right. Like this is the whole invalidating progression thing, and it's why play the game like and try to get up to a higher level when it doesn't matter. And if anything, it's punishing you in various places as well, because even though it's a heroic event or whatever, the current heroic event at Ops 68 to 70 or 69 to 70 requires you to hit 1,200 hostiles without buying the building. So if you bought the building, like you'd be quicker and it'd be a lot easier. But like, if you're a lower ops level as well,
I mean,
your heroic milestone is a lot less, and you have to hit a lot less hostiles. Like that's another issue in general. But yeah, I'm trying to use that as a point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I'm gonna let them have heroic is for people who spent $100 thing.
Yeah, that's fine as well. Yeah,
I mean, like I think it's scummy to put basically an ad here in where it should be events, but whatever. Like and not put it in a bucket. There used to be a bucket. Somebody spilled the bucket.
It was in a bucket.
Yeah. And then it's like,
they're probably just told to remove it.
Don't talk to me about a dynamically changing galaxy until you learn how to put your events in folders and keep them in the folders. Like
the I button's good though. Like that's a good change they made. Click the I button, then you can see what you need to do without going into it. But you're right. Like the UI in this game is really old and not user friendly.
But just
And
even
it's
their own
designed to be
UI,
flashy. That's the other thing as well.
if it could work like they want it to work and be the same way it was yesterday, today, that would be an upgrade. Just make it work. Just whatever shitty shit you've designed, be consistently shit about it. But they can't.
Yeah.
Like, look at my dock button. Do you see it?
But look at it.
This is a button.
Yeah, I know. It's the same with mine. It's to the far left.
Yeah, like, just why can't? Like, I'm not asking for a lot here. I'm not asking them to do anything special. Just have the thing that you have as is. Just have it work properly, and then give me bulk refine for my faction store. That's it. That's all I want to be happy. I'm easy to please.
But yeah, that for me is almost like the game design. They're trying to design it to be flashy, right? Like bigger pictures, make everything look as cool as possible, or look like really cool or whatever. But it's like that's taking away from what the actual gameplay experience is. They're like, hey, if we make a new filter or we add like flashing lights to the battle pass, maybe people will click and buy the battle pass more. It's like, well, I don't want that. I just want it to be user friendly, and I want to understand what I need to do to actually get stuff done. Like, make it in a way that I don't have to scroll 30 or 40 pages through to get to what I need to click. Make it so that I can easily select what I need to get to, so I can go back to doing something else. I don't need like multi-arc Picasso style canvases of events. Like, yeah. It's,
we're not really.
It just is overcomplicated to look cooler than it should be.
Exactly. We're simple folk, right? With just a potato and a flying brain, and all we want is a game that somewhat functions and lets us play it instead of having to fight the UI or fight the game itself. And I don't think that's too much to ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and like, go ahead.
No, I'm just whatever. After this, I'll let you complete the thought, and then we can talk about the new officer and stuff.
I was going to move to transition hazard changes in the systems as well.
Yeah.
Like,
so
that's
what happened with
but
transition?
we've discussed that to death.
I don't actually even know.
So basically,
all I know is I got a comp chest.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So at the start of this arc, they changed some of the hazard numbers because they reverted back to what they were at the original point of flashpoints, like 2 months ago. Basically, select few systems had increased hazard damage. Yeah, it was accident for sure. Like O'Connell went up from 100% to 200%, and a few other systems changed as well. Their numbers. There was a list in the actual Discord post. Mm-hmm. But because they were working off a different version, I guess, of the game, because as we know, through the first two transition arcs, they adjusted hazard damage and hazard tick timers and everything because players were not entirely happy and the game couldn't cope with it. So when this arc launched, some of those numbers changed and people realized, hey, I'm dying in a system I didn't used to die in. What happened here? And then the solution, instead of actually changing the numbers back to what they should be, was to give out a auto-activated exocomp with increased hazard damage and increased mining rate.
Right. So, okay, that's what I got.
Yeah, there is that.
Okay.
And the problem I found with the auto-activation side of things is, yes, they did say on the Discord, hey, this auto-activates. And they did say in-game news, hey, this auto-activates. But because it comes every day and you see it as compensation gift or whatever the title is, you don't remember what it's for. So like me, you go into there and you go, compensation gift, this happens every day. So you click it thinking it's something else than it is. But it only 4 hours worth of activation, right? Like it didn't have on there.
Like, yeah, why didn't you just make it a 24-hour extra comp? They messed up. They permanently increased the hazard resistance in an entire set of systems. Just give us a 20, like, this is what I don't understand. It's like if the hotel screws up my reservation and like I had the presidential suite and like, we're sorry, we overbooked. All we can give you is like a standard suite. I'd be like, oh, okay, fine. But then if they woke you up at 4 a.m. and said, okay, you got to leave the room now because the thing we comped you for like isn't for all day. It's just for 4 hours. Like, what?
Yeah, Psychojust is also saying, does stay active until you move if the mining node as well. Yeah, because the exocomps, I think they have to be docked again to change the number or whatever. It's like an old issue. But you're right, Mosh. Like a 24-hour, or just change. Don't even have people claim it. Just change it in the game, just to be like, here's the change.
They obviously, like, I assume they could.
It's the global.
Like, I assume they couldn't without a maintenance, because it's like changing the way. So like, okay, so a bit of nerd talk. I can totally understand how this happened. I assume the way that they work is they've got a release branch that's live, and they've got in their source control manager, they create a new branch of the code, which is basically a copy of the code base for the arc that they're working on. So they work on, okay, so let's say September 1st, right? Or here, August 1st. They want to begin working on the thing that's going to be launched in September. So in August, they make a copy of the game as is, and they start working on that to finalize the things needed for September's arc. During the month of August, they did some hotfixes to the existing game. If they don't also do every single hotfix they did in the live server to their like next month's server, then when they bring the next, it doesn't come over. Like, this is like basic stuff that happens.
Correct.
If you don't have a good release management process, if you don't have continuous integration or whatever. Like, I can totally see how it would happen. I assume there's a reason why they don't have a better process that prevents it. But regardless, it's a thing. It happened. They couldn't hotfix it probably for some reason, because it's probably required like the whole server going down because it's not just a thing they could hotfix live or whatever. But like, all of that I'm super understanding about, right? Because like they don't decide to have a mistake happen. Mistakes happen. And yes, you can improve your process to reduce them, but there's always going to be mistakes. What matters is how you remediate them. And Scopely, whenever they screw up, they have a habit of comping you in an incomplete fashion. And it just rubs me the wrong way. Like, I don't know. I don't have a good analogy.
And
just give me a 24-hour
when you're saying that they can't hotfix, when you're saying they can't hotfix on the fly, I mean, they literally did that last month, right? They literally changed the hazard resistance while the game was up and in a live environment.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They can do it. They just haven't done it.
That's true. They literally did do that. Well, yeah. Why did they do it this month?
Maybe they're waiting for mid-month patch. I don't know. But yeah, we do know mid-month patch, apparently, because Flashpoints isn't running jumping tangents now. We potentially are getting a new officer drop, and we're getting something equivalent to Flashpoints, or a reskinning of Flashpoints or something. So it's going to be an interesting mid-month. But let's go back to talking about Transigen. Back to you, Mosh.
That's actually a good segue, because I wanted to talk about the new officer, and I noticed there's only one new officer. So I kept thinking maybe I should go read the patch notes and I missed something, but there's only one new officer, right?
Correct.
Did they say why?
Do you want to talk about the abilities? No, they didn't. They haven't said. They always keep, like, whether it's good stuff, mostly good stuff, they always keep close to the chest, like introducing mining XP and like all these like sliders and some of these like convert stuff. A lot of the good stuff, they're like, yeah, no, we won't talk about it. It's like, yeah, take the win. It's good.
Okay, so
so Winadami is going to be an interesting officer.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's just part of like the new villains subset, right? So we know we're going to get multiple villains characters coming out, which is really interesting. So potentially getting like the Skin of Evil as a character, or maybe another Nero, or just maybe revisiting some older characters, or even some new villains that like we haven't really seen a lot of. So maybe new Borg Queen, who knows? This is really interesting and exciting to Space Karen, 100% Broken Wolf, to see what officers they're going to bring out. Because like villains is like, you could have so many even Starfleet admirals who essentially were villains in themselves. So yeah, the interesting things about like Winadami as well, like Kai Win, she's not a captain, right? So no captain's ability. She has a captain's badge, with a command badge, which is really interesting. So I don't know what's going on there. And the abilities, the two things is essentially Harrison for bases. I'm not sure if people need Harrison's abilities with bases, which is removing the shields from a base. And below decks, reducing critical damage by X%. So obviously we always need more below deck PvP officers, because like if we're playing arenas, we're running 3 or 4 PvP ships, you want more variety and selection of what you can put down there as well. And yeah, back to 100 shards, which is fine. So far, what we've seen, the only way to acquire Adami is missions to get some some whatever they're called, then battle pass and the treasury. So this is a major change to the current treasury, right? The first thing I'll talk about is the 100% free-to-play players who have not spent any money in the game now have a real treasury. So it's ops based. So now my treasury actually contains things relevant to my account. So I got 7.5 million Sigma pass deal. I got the 50 Winadami shards. I got G6 materials, G6 rare materials, and I was like, this is a mistake. Surely I'll wake up. They'll take this away from me. So I literally, and they changed the number from 700 to 400 hostile kills as well. And they changed the cooldown time from 7 days to 4 days. So I stayed up. I sped my way to unlock it. And I was like, don't take this away. Don't make changes.
Oh, yeah. So then, had you been spending your treasury shard thingies at all, or were you saving them?
So it's a free-to-play, basically. The only value on the treasure was officer shards. So if there was a good officer selection, I would get that treasury.
All right, so like you didn't have much in terms of platinum or resources or mats.
I've got essentially
those were all crap for you, but the shards were the same as
700k
treasury.
Correct.
Okay, so whenever there was good officer shards, you would get it. Otherwise, you would skip. Okay, so how many treasuries can you unlock in a row?
I can do next treasury again straight away.
Okay, so you had enough for 2 save.
And then I'll have to wait a little bit longer after that. Gotcha. Yeah, because there's been a few like interesting ones with depot tokens or like new officers that just were interesting. So I thought I'd get them for progression anyway. But there's a lot to talk about the change to the treasury, right? So one of the biggest things is because Winadami is in there as the current gen officer, they nerfed the amount of uncommon materials that players get and other rewards based on the fact that she's a current generation officer.
Only
so
uncommon?
Normally it's 60 shards as well for epics. Well, everything in the chest, uncommons, speed ups, they nerfed the entire treasury by X%. I don't know exactly what that number was, because they're saying it's a new officer that is current generation and current arc.
Sure, yeah.
So it's a complete overhaul of what the treasury looks like, essentially.
Now it's just 50 times 1. But they also reduce the mats and everything else. I think that's fine. Whatever. Like it's.
And Psychojess is saying no treasury for sub 45. I'm not sure if. I'm guessing that's true. I haven't seen anything about the treasury specifically, except the in-game news saying that the treasury exists.
Post a screenshot of your treasury in Discord. That'd be great. I'm always curious what it looks like for lower ops. You can be posted in Legion Discord or my Discord. I'll grab it. Okay, sorry. Good.
No, you're good. It is a huge change. So no treasure for Broken Wolf for Ops 35 either. So that would be a shame if they gated treasury for the lower level accounts, considering that upgrading the building, you can basically do that. What level do you need to start upgrading your treasury? Like originally, because Ops 20, Ops 30? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't
when
been
it actually started
mine.
Back in the day, but
because like these things are okay.
No, me either, because
but they're not like impactful.
Yeah, it was valuable at the time, and now it's not as much. So somewhere in the 20s. Thank you, Adva. So if they're saying you can build the building in your 20s, but now you can't get a treasury till 45, that's a miss. Like that's really
is that
unfair
just
to
this
the players
month where they're
who
doing
are coming
this new
into the game.
officer or what?
Maybe that could be a valid reason, but at the same time, if they're splitting up the content, would you not get a sub 45 treasury?
I mean, I don't know. I was just asking if like if they're always not going to have it, or it's just this month, or
I don't know.
yeah.
We don't know. And Broken Wolf and Psycho Jester, do you have any in-game news about why you didn't get a treasury this month at all? Because like I think they feel that players don't know what other players get, and like,
And
that's
like we
very not
talk,
true.
bro.
You've got a lot of
The
content
internet
creators and-
exists.
yeah, correct.
They're trying to keep us in the dark, keep them
And
separated.
You're going to ask your like alliance as well. You've got multiple people in your alliance in the game that probably have a treasury and be like, oh, the treasury this month's really cool. And you'd be like, wait, where's my treasury? So that's bad. Yeah, they really need to communicate the reason why this change has happened and what the future looks like for treasury for lower level players.
Their takeaway from that,
they're going to get one in the future.
because I assume they did this as based on player feedback. I heard something about Rav giving them feedback about the treasury or something, right? They're gonna hear you say like, hey, they need to inform us about this stuff, and they're gonna say, okay, this is why we should never listen to player feedback. I swear that's how they think.
Sorry, I missed that. Why they should never what?
Listen to player feedback.
Yeah, I'm not telling them how to fix it.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like,
or anything. It's just like, well,
they did a thing which was directionally probably good. There's one tiny thing about it, which is they didn't communicate it well, and we're gonna tell them that, and they're gonna conclude, okay, so we need to not give players good treasuries. Got it.
Yes, I get that completely. Like, for me, yes, like this is the best treasure I've ever had in the game. The entire time I played the game, this is literally like mind blowing for me. This saves me like 2 or 3 weeks worth of progression that I never would have had access to before. So for me, amazing. Anyone sub 45, it's slap in the face, right? Like you used to get a treasury, you don't get one now. So, and again, the people who are used to having a treasury just in general are saying it's a bad treasury because of the reduction in materials. So there's all these different variety of opinions about this one item, which is the same with everything in game as well.
A lot of people aren't going to care about it.
Yeah, essentially. No.
So is there not going to be sourcing for this new officer outside of the treasury?
I imagine the sourcing is going to come mid-month. So whatever the mid-month thing is, whether it's going to be flashpoints, like the quote-unquote flash up of something, it's going to probably be IMS based because that's what was designed before. I don't know what it's going to be about at all. I've got no clues or whatever. But that's where the sourcing is going to come from. And we're probably going to continue to see Officer Depot tokens / meta events containing Officer Depot tokens, or maybe last month's officer, for the foreseeable future until they work out what they want to do with new officers now, because they've been trying quite a few different things over the last couple of months.
It's my last remaining joy is being able to acquire new officers the month that they're out. They're going to take that away from me, Morty. What am I going to do when I don't have, like...
It might be possible mid-month. Yeah.
It's all I play for, is being able to, like, have higher tier officers than the whales.
Me too.
Than some of the whales. the mini whales.
Yeah. Well, and beating Ryan, right, Mosh?
That's how I beat Ryan, is
100%.
by having a high tier DeMarco. Well, I didn't use DeMarco in that SLB, but there was a point where I had a higher tier DeMarco than he did.
No, you didn't need to, no. You scored way higher. Both of you scored way higher than me in that SMS as well, because I just used ISO damage because I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
When the SLB, sorry, yeah. But yeah, like, officers are exciting. Acquiring new stuff is exciting, and we have not having captains for anything for a long time. Like,
yeah, it's another one that doesn't have a captain ability. What is going on?
And my tinfoil hat theory is that captains are going to be legendary officers in the future. So now they've got a legendary ship, I think maybe captains are now legendary. But that's a tinfoil hat theory, of course. Nothing to substantiate that.
Well, Kirk, Pike, and Picard are in the game as non-legendary. What are... And they've got like Strange New World Pike, TOS Pike. Do they have TOS Pike? Yeah, Rosfaridus. Welcome in, guys.
Yes, they do.
Thank you for the. We're doing our
Welcome in, Raiders.
bi-weekly Star Trek Fleet Command podcast where we talk about the state of the game. So welcome in. Hope you had a good stream. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
We just yell. That's what it is. Curse you, everything and anything. Yeah, so I don't know. Officers like captains, captains are definitely a premium now, and who knows how they're going to source captains going forward. Villains as a subgroup, really interesting. Really excited to see what other villains come into the game, and based on like Adami's stats, like being PvP focused, are we going to get updates to raiding because she essentially is a help to base crack, or are we going to get new strike teams coming out in the future? And it's essentially meant to be a 2-month arc normally anyway, so they're normally back to back with similar features and similar abilities. So yeah, Pike, no TOS Pike for Mosh, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to drop another officer this month because it's been a long time. I think there was one arc where we had no officers as a sourcing. There's literally 0 officers in that month. Aside from that, it's generally been 2 or 3. So they've really started squeezing it down if it just ends up being 1.
Yeah, I'm
yes,
very...
Kelvin Pike, yes. TOS Pike, no, yes.
Well, I just assumed that if there's a Kelvin Pike, there must be a TOS Pike, but I guess not. I don't know.
Maybe that's next month.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is like, well, what I was saying with that was like, we've got like 6 different Picards or whatever, like a couple of Kirks, like a couple of Pikes. Like I don't know. At some, like, how many more of the same officer can they add, right? But I guess that's not really important. So,
well, we literally had back-to-back Scotties, right?
Yeah.
1 month after the other.
But that's okay because we love Scotty.
Go ahead, Mosh.
I wanted to talk about this officer, I guess. Yeah, her above deck ability I don't really care about, but her below deck I want. Critical damage is huge in arenas. Like it's one of the last remaining like differentiators between players is like how much do your crits crit and how much do their crits crit, and that can, even if you don't have like a slipstream Tantalus field, sometimes you can win matchups because you have better research and crit reduction or crit increases or whatever.
100%.
So I will be
100%. Yeah.
I'm hoping that there is a ascendancy event
because
where I can try and win Adami shards. Win Adami shards.
Yeah, I hope it's to win Adami shards in the ascendancy, but who knows? Maybe they're just like, here's more depot tokens, or here's Mbenga again. And they still haven't, sorry to jump again, they still haven't made any changes to Scotty or Mbenga being Flashpoint specific officers. But yeah. And the recommended crew is always funny to look at, I think. Sometimes they're really good starting points, other times they're just interesting.
Yeah, this is fine. This is not bad advice. Riemann, Rom. Wait. Oh, they're using the wrong notation. What? No, it should be Rom like Lorca win or not Freeman. Like, Carol Freeman should be captain or not on the ship, I think. I don't know. Maybe she's.
Well, when you're looking at that sentence, who should be captain there?
Yeah, I assume they mean the middle is captain, which is what I was like cringing at, because the standard rotation in all of STFC community is captain first, but they've decided to do it
correct
the other way. Because like Rom as an officer is yeah, they're just this is what I'm saying. Like I don't think they
yeah, they could have put a.
I don't
Go ahead,
know.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't have anything relevant to say. I'm just yapping.
I just really wanted to say, like, they could have put a C, right? Like bracket C bracket captain next.
True, or they could have followed. Yeah. I mean, the captain, there's a lot of
because
ways
not
they could have done
the
this
same
better.
way. So
they really
homophones, yeah.
They just, especially with the Tri Freeman.
I don't know if
like who's Tri Freeman? Is she Carol's cousin? Like what?
Yeah, you know the 3 moons of the 3 sons of Triskelion. So maybe we're getting a Triskelion Freeman from the original series. That would be pretty cool.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay.
But yeah, this blog post about the officer as well, it's like it's interesting because it's like, hey, here's one crew that we can suggest. Great. Like,
yeah.
But the other thing is stfc.space, right? You look up how you tier up Winadami. You need not planetary charts. You need the way team's research charts, or whatever they're called. So look her up in there. I think her stats are all right. Like, they're not amazing stats. Like, she's not going to be a stat officer, but to me, that also hints at them increasing more away teams research nodes or away team stuff, considering that like the villains require Pioneer's Crest. That's the one. Correct. Like,
what does she have to do with Wrath of Khan or what?
Nothing. Well, for now, anyway, nothing.
What do you mean for now, nothing?
It blows my mind.
She's not in any of the Wrath of Khan movies. She doesn't and never will have anything to do with Wrath of Khan. This is just literally this is the rarest officer upgrade resource, and we want to have a excuse to make people buy a pack.
Yeah, the only justification I can think of is if she's going to be like villains are going to have their own officer efficiency. So if they're going to have shard efficiency, then the way that they block people opting up the officers really quickly is to put in a Pioneer's Crest to make people either spend to upgrade them, because it's an officer you can upgrade, but you can't do it because you don't have the crest. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the psychology as well. It's like, buy the pack because you've got enough shards to do it, but you can't.
I mean, I have the Reliant,
that's
right?
fine.
And let's see, how many Pioneer's Crest do I have? I don't think it's going to be an issue. Like, I don't think it's going to be a realistic bottleneck. Okay, my cat is actually attacking me. I have 125k Pioneer's Crests.
Hello, Derp.
Yeah.
Well, free to play only got the Reliant this week.
Yeah. So in 3 months, you will have you will have a copious amount of, like, I don't think Pioneer's Crest, like, if you, by the time you get Winadami to tier 2 as a free to play player, it won't be it. Like, I don't think Pioneer's Crest are going to be a big constraint long term. Because you use them for research, and then you don't have a use for them. So they're gonna build up, right?
Yeah, there's ship blueprints you can get, or you can get the extra Federation Romulan Klingon credits or whatever. But yeah, you're right. Like, she has nothing to do with Wrath of Khan. Maybe she's going to be away team useful, like with the 3 traits she's got.
So
I need to
maybe go check on Derp.
Something special is going to happen, or
what should I put on the screen for you to be able to entertain chat for a bit? I need like 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can just leave it. You can leave it as it is. I can just talk. That's fine. Yeah, leave it there. Just anywhere is good. Maybe leave it on the Vengeance. I can talk about the Vengeance for a little bit too. That's fine. Anything's good, Mosh. Thank you. Yeah. So Vengeance changes, I guess, like, probably skipping ahead a bit, maybe we'll come back to it or not. In the aggregation loop at the moment, like, the last tier of the research tree provides efficiency for the Vengeance ship parts. So it's like 15% efficiency overall. So yeah, I guess that's good, because it feels like not many people are really talking good things about the Vengeance. And they've also made some other changes coming up with the Vengeance as well to reduce the level requirement for below deck slots, to allow Vengeance owners to actually have more PvP officers below deck to compete against the cubes that they should be beating. Yeah, and I imagine they're going to keep iterating on the Vengeance until it is the most powerful ship in the game, because they've called it a legendary ship. Now, for legendary ships getting beaten by an epic, it's not legendary. So definitely a lot to think about there. And maybe that's why they've changed arenas as well. Like, I'm sure we'll have a big arenas discussion later on, because they've changed quite a few things about that. But yeah, I'm with you, Psycho Juster. It's in quotation marks legendary. And Gen X, I think we will get a captain, like a Wrath of Khan captain, because when we think about the actual station area, like the whole area, there's multiple room for them to do additional nodes, add in potential Wrath of Khan armadas, or I don't know, some other gameplay mechanic to do with Wrath of Khan, because there's a big empty space. It looks much more emptier than other spaces, and I imagine they've got more to add to that in the future. I don't know when it's going to be, but they have to go back to it, because like we need more captains. So I think as soon as they determine what a captain is going to be in the future, whether or not it's going to be, again, quotation marks, legendary, once they've worked that out, then maybe we'll get that content that has been missed for the last couple of months. Yeah, and they're definitely in a everything's changing kind of mindset as well. So for me, they've got a bit of grace to make the key core changes now, and then when they get back to the rest of it, then they'll get back to the rest of it. But yeah, how's that, Mosh?
He's happy now. He got food.
Oh, that's good. Me kitty, pet the kitty.
Yeah. What wouldn't Khan be a good Wrath of Khan captain? Except they didn't release Khan as an officer, just a fleet commander, right?
Yes. Correct.
That could be a good one.
Yeah,
and
unless it's going to be a
too.
legendary Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fits with lore. That's the sad part is like when they jumble up stuff on release, that's when you get stuff that's not really lore friendly. So yeah, if something gets delayed or doesn't work, so maybe that's why Flashpoints was cancelled as well. Like the actual tech itself failed. So then they're like, oh, quick, let's adjust and release something that was meant to be 4 months from now this month.
Nice.
And then they don't change the assets in terms of officers or whatever. So the ability is just whoever's there gets that ability. So that's my understanding. It could be wrong as well.
Genex, I saw you earlier, and I was gonna reply and say, like, you said potatoes can't spell, and I was gonna correct your spelling on potatoes, and then I got distracted. But yeah, so I see you. Sorry, chat. If I don't respond right away, it's because I'm trying to interrupt a little less than 99% of the time. This is my normal amount.
Yeah, it's
okay. We had a.
Is this an officer you want to chase, Mosh?
What's that? I want her, but
is this an officer you want to chase, or?
You know, I've been saving. Crap! I just realized I got to queue a research. Hold on, let me pick something at random.
We've got about 80 minutes till reset as well. So if you haven't done your dailies, you've still got a little over an hour and 15 minutes.
No, I was good. I did all my daily. Like I tried to do all my required stuff before getting on a podcast with you. I knew it was like not gonna happen. Well, except for the mining stuff and some of this stuff, but whatever. It is what it is.
That's the only time I miss dailies is when I do this.
So, no, what I was gonna say is I've been saving for the officer. So I have, like, if you look at GS, like my relativity, I have probably enough to tier it up. Like I have 26,000 of one, 30,000 of the other, and you can see my costs are like 7,000 per component. So I have enough to tier up the relativity and then some. GS31, same thing. Where is it? I have, like, I've been saving all, like, I have 9,700, so that might not be quite a tier up, but it's almost a tier up. Same with the Reliant. I've been saving a bunch of, because these are the new ships that give, that at least in the most recent officer SLB, they gave points. So I've been saving those. I've been also saving, like, DTI credits, and we'll see. I have 657 Reliant parts. So I have lots of Reliant parts. Could tier it up twice during that event. Con Fleet Commander, I need to unbug my augment. So in augment, I like the way that I win that event. Like there's different parts to the SLB because it's a meta event, right? There's like different for people who don't. I know you know, but like the way that I've been able to score well in this one is con upgrade. So I have like 13k hijack insignia, but I have a lot of the things required to buy champion. I have like 1 million champions trophies. The problem is my 3-star is.
We're talking about Chronicles of the Ascendant events as well.
Yeah.
Did we start with that? I can't remember if we said the Chronicles
of
the Ascendant events.
Yeah. I need to like put in a ticket to unbug the level 3 champion. Although I can do level 4 champion if I have Lorca's Fist, but I can't spam them.
Have you tried the level 4 champion with Tau? Do you have Tau? You don't have Tau, do you? Yeah, I didn't think so. But Tau with
as
the
if you
champions
didn't
basically
know.
makes it
As
easy.
if you
No, I knew.
just rub it in. Just oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I'm a horrible person, Mosh.
Yes.
Continue.
No, I don't want to. I'm pouty potato. I don't want to know.
Well, they introduced a cooldown on those champions trophies as well now. So basically, like,
Wait, what?
I think it's 1 a minute to prevent the issue that you're having actually happen. So yeah, I don't know why
That's
they
not
haven't fixed
how you
your issue
prevent
yet.
it.
Has your ticket been escalated at all?
No, I haven't made the
that's what
ticket
they've
yet.
done. I'll just say what they've done. You talk about it. Mosh. Go.
Nothing. I haven't made a ticket yet. It would be like the 4th time I'm making a ticket.
Yes.
I've been being lazy because I can't do it on, like, it's not easy to do a ticket on your phone. So I have to I play SCFC on my phone. It's the game I play when I'm relaxing while watching a TV show.
Oh yeah.
So anything like,
or even it's hard to do a ticket on the app.
Yeah, like
on the website. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Anything that involves like sitting at a computer, so like wave defense, arenas, and putting tickets are the 3 things I just fall behind on because I can't do it from the couch. You play on the computer though, mostly, right?
I do both. Like, if I'm watching TV, I'll be playing my phone. If I'm on my computer, I'll be watching Twitch and playing the game and doing something else at the same time, and then scrolling my phone as well. So like literally like 4 screens at once with maybe 2 or 3 different podcasts or Twitch people going on at once. So I'm a very unique case, I guess. But
sounds pretty standard to me.
I do play, and I have played arenas on the phone and waves on the phone before as well. Because like I don't mind playing arenas or waves on the phone if the connection is good. It just is a different way. And then for me, changing it up, trying to like avoid carpal tunnel as well, I guess, like do some of the clicks on the computer and then some of the clicks with my fingers. So I just mix it up a bit.
Well, I select my ships with buttons on, like, by pushing the number hotkey. So in arenas, having to like tap on a thing and then tap on a thing and then tap on a, like, I can't do that very well. But
that's fair enough.
I mean, I've done it. I just don't feel like I'm performing as well as I should when I do it.
Yeah. That's the worst part, is when you feel, you should do better and you can do better, but your hands and fingers aren't doing what you want your brain is telling them to do.
Yeah. So instead now I just don't do it at all, and then justify it by saying I'm mad at Scopely. There you go. You can see I have 500 arena emblems left because they moved it to Fridays. We didn't talk about that.
Yes.
That's a permanent change, right? That's not just a one-time thing?
No, not permanent. 2-time thing for now. But I imagine, yes, it's probably going to be permanent because every time they say, hey, we're testing this new thing, it just stays. Because they never go back to the original. Look at Impulse Cap, for example. Like, that's still there in arenas and been there the whole time, when originally it was meant to be a short-term fix.
Okay, so let's talk about arenas. You said that they're redoing arenas. What's the deal with that?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Gods on the Street is that they're redoing the actual arena match itself, like what is happening within the arena. So I don't know exactly what they're doing with that, but whether it's going to be a change to the hostiles or a change to the armadas, who knows? And they've played around multiple times with loading screens and whatnot. So the bug of using other people's arenas games while you're playing your arenas games is a new thing, because they just change how you actually load into that galaxy system or that instance, I guess. So this brings me hope in the sense that they haven't given up on arenas as a feature, because they've made it so Vengeance players must play arenas to progress their Vengeance ship parts, because it's part of their SMS. I think they have to kill like 5 ships in arenas with the Vengeance. And because you've got your highest spenders now playing arenas more, I feel like they've gone back to looking at it going, hey, we actually do need to fix this. And again, talking about Unity 6, even though we're not really talking about that, but for me, I feel like it's made it more stable, but at the same time, they haven't fixed any of the bugs that exist in arenas. So there's lots I want from it as well, like an overhaul to the actual Terran store, an overhaul to like win-loss ratio or progression, or just making people feel like valued to actually play in arenas, and people who've maxed out arenas, like actually make it have like a top 100 players or whatever. You can do shoutcast matches. I'm going way off, but basically what we've heard is Friday is a 2-week change, and they're going to change how the actual event. They've got prep events coming back. Like prep events were amazing the first time around, like to get people excited for arenas and to even let them know they're coming up, like they did with incursions or have done with incursions. And yeah, changing the actual mechanics. I'm really looking forward to it.
Because I guess what do you want to see in terms of the mechanic? Like, you want the impulse cap increased again, or what would make arenas more pleasant for you aside from less bugs and latency?
Yeah, I think just introducing some form of gameplay in it, like looking at like a way to maybe slow down your opponents, or maybe create like hazards or mines, or create some form of environmental effect that's happening. So it's not just about who's got the biggest ship and the biggest officers and who's counted your officer selection. Like there's actually mechanics in there that it's like, because it's like playing basketball or whatever. Like you've got the ball, you're trying to get to the goal, and you can do different things to get it to the goal. But
you want to be able to build structures and barriers and mines and have people run into it. And
yes, maybe not that intense, but yeah, essentially, yeah, like make it more than just hitting hostiles and armadas to score points and then killing players. Like, yeah, that mechanic is fun. Like arenas is fun. Like I've had so much fun playing it, regardless of all the bugs and the issues, the matchmaking and everything else. It's taught me how to be a better PvP player in general, but it needs to have variety. It needs to have seasons. It needs to be different, because having the same content for, I don't know, how long has it been? 8 months now since arenas have come out, or however long it's been.
Holy crap, yeah.
It's never
it has been
changed. So I'm excited to see them change. Like that, it doesn't have to be every week or every month. I just want them to iterate over time as well.
So to me,
it's now a core feature of the game. Go ahead.
I'm at a point where I have like enough currency to buy every favor that I want. And then it would just be like officers. Because I already had a
You can get them through. Yeah, correct. Like galactic.
Yeah, like there's other sources for these officers as well, for sure.
Mirror,
but there's still like, it's still a thing to do to progress your account, right? Like it's not like I'm gonna run out of like,
for sure.
Between the artifact and all these officers, there's still a lot. But like I have 77k, which like the G6 Innovative Engineering is 48k, which this is the big one I cared about. So I could just stop doing arenas and be fine. And I think that's cool. It's cool to be able to finish a loop in this game and be like, I did it. I was 65,000 arena points from like week 3 of the arenas, and like I did it. I got all the stuff. Go me. I win the video game and I don't have to do it anymore. I can still do it because it's fun and gives me some other rewards, but I don't no longer feel obligated to do it. And I don't want every loop to be required to do every day or week or whatever for eternity, because that's how the game gets ridiculous. Like a couple of the 70s in my alliance are like always complain about this. They're like, they need to retire the Stella. They need to retire some ships just need to, like, some loops need to just be permanent retired. Once you get to a certain point, you should just not ever care about them anymore. And you should just like, that's it. It should just be like, I don't know, Cardassian armadas or something, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. And
because they're adding more things, they should remove.
Are they going to expand that? But 100%.
Or obsolete them.
But for people who still enjoy it, like,
yeah, in terms of what I would enjoy in arenas, I think when arenas first came out, when they were 5v5, and there was no impulse cap, you could sneak arenas in. You could sneak armadas in. Like that was fun. Like you could have smaller ships and still win. But ultimately, that's been my beef with STF CPUB in general. Is smaller ships have no counterplay to bigger ships. In arenas for a little bit, faster was a counterplay, but when there was no impulse scout. I think you can have some fun, but it was also like very like it was problematic because of how glitchy the game is and how like not built for high speed it is.
Yeah.
So I don't really necessarily
Correct.
know that would be better anymore. But honestly, at this point, like I'm perfectly happy with never doing arenas again. because most of my games come down to who won the matchmaking lotto, and are we like, and maybe it's different in G6, but in G4 and G5, it was we both have a big, we both have a medium, we both have a little, assuming we built our teams correctly, because that's the optimal way to build a team, because the matchmaking algorithm punishes you if you don't. It's about who's big is bigger. And if my big has like better ships and forbidden tech and fleet commander abilities, and then officers and whatever, but like it's mainly like having a maxed out ship for that level, having Tantalus Field and having Quantum Slipstream, having fleet commanders, then you win. Sometimes, you know, like you can win a fight by popping Lorca's Fist that you wouldn't otherwise. And if you max Fortify and Cerritos and they don't, then yeah, you have an advantage. But I also feel like bad using those abilities in Arena because sometimes I need max Fortify for other things, and max Fort is not easy to save up. And like,
not at all. Yes.
So
because there's caps on it.
Yeah, like your ship's getting destroyed. That's one thing. Because repairs are free in Arena. Repair tokens aren't free, but that's like an Arena only resource. So I don't feel bad about using repair tokens in Arena, but I feel bad about using Fortify in Arena because then I'm like, well, now I can't do.
Makes sense.
You know, an elite solo or an SLB. You know that I need to like. I don't know. Like it just sucks not having two max Fortify saved up. I like to always have 24k Titan juice. And then,
because you never know what event's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, and I also think like the 2 ship limit is a bit weird. Like now that it's only 3 players, maybe 3 ships would be more fun, so I can bring a support ship. But
yeah,
maybe that would be. The only other thing I can think of for arenas is having a PvE aspect to it. Like in each of the starting systems, have some armadas there, so that you can try to just race against it. Like, yes, the middle should be more lucrative and give more points if somebody abandons it and you take over the middle. But also, like, it would make it so people who don't have PvP gear and stuff could still contribute to a team by just doing arenas like in their own starting area and feel like they're getting some points or something. And I don't know. I think
there are so many ways to make any like valid and interesting gameplay changes. Like even adding to your idea, Mosh, you could have the starting areas contain mining nodes, and mining scores X amount of points over time, and you could use one mining ship, for example.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my point around people who want to keep playing arenas, like there is nothing else in the game exists like arenas. Even if it doesn't provide you with increasing like your gameplay by materials or rewards or whatever, provide a leaderboard or a scoring mechanic that you can just have pride with it. Like you can be like, I smacked this person around because I was better at arenas that week. You can still have things that are non-game breaking and still be rewarding to players, like getting avatars or just even like a plate name saying like arena champion for the month or whatever, or a different color of something. Like
for sure, yeah.
If something else existed in the game like this, then I'd be happy to go, yeah, cool, arenas are done. But because there's nothing else, this is it. It's just like STFC. Because there's nothing else like this, I have to play this. So I would want the mechanic to still be good. And the people that play, like we've seen the charts, like Chrono at stfc.pro shows the charts. There's less than 300 players in APAC every week playing arenas with a change score.
Oh, wow.
So basically, arenas is on the verge of completely not existing in APAC. Because 300 people, right? You're seeing the same people again and again.
What about all the people who are at 65k and stay at 65k? Because it's
that's it. They're not counted in there. But again, like who we don't know how many people are staying at 65k either. It's not a perfect metric, but at the same time, like when you look at EU and US, over 2,000 people per week. So it's a very different experience in APAC. And yeah,
where do you see this?
People to have a good matchmaking system. If you only have 300 people, it's going to be bad. So it's on Chrono's Discord. I'll send you the screenshots.
He did it.
So do you have a link to Chrono's Discord?
Yeah, I'm in there. I'll dig it up.
Yeah. But yeah, there's multiple, and there's multiple ways to revamp the feature. Like, it's a great feature. There's a lot of bugs and issues that exist in it. And for people who hate arenas because they don't win or they can't get the rewards, if you go back through like the actual Terran chart, the only things you're really missing out on is the premium mirror dust and the higher G6 innovative engineering. Everything below that, you get more rewards for winning and than you do for losing. So even if you lose 70% of your matches, you'll still get to that point where you can claim the G5 innovative engineering or the majority of the mirror dust. And all the other stuff like the Syndicate XP favor and the other favor for CT or for bin tech upgrades, they're all just not rank based, they're all faction based, right? So you don't need any rank for them. So the majority of awards you can get by AFKing arenas with 3 other people.
Don't you dare!
You don't have to do anything.
Take away our AFK arenas. A bunch of people in my alliance. That's all they do. That's how they get their points.
Yeah, and that's valid. Get the stuff you want, still participate, and yeah. So it doesn't need. They don't need to change it so that like arenas can't exist or have anything unique to them. You can still do the loop essentially and get what you want out of it, even if you're not playing in it. So yeah, that's why I don't understand when people are like, "Oh, this feature is like the worst thing that exists in the world." It's like,
well,
yes,
people don't like losing.
The matchmaking stuff's really bad, but yeah,
it's frustrating to.
But for me, like
to go in and feel like,
yeah, I lost a lot.
Well, you're different. You're built different, Morty.
Yeah, that's true.
Other people go in and they just get slapped around and they feel inadequate and frustrated and they think they did something wrong, or I don't know. I mean, I get it. I also don't mind losing, especially. I think 400 points for losing is actually a good amount. Could be a little more, could be a little less, but it's you can get good points by like it's fine. Like in an ideal world, the points you get would be a multiple of how many points you get in game. So if you get absolutely demolished, you get nothing. But then that would require a matchmaking system that isn't hot garbage. So that, to me, my arena wish list is number 1, matchmaking that doesn't average out the ops. It's the dumbest thing ever. Number 2, higher impulse cap and have it function. I know that's asking for a lot, but have it like be actually like functioning, responsive, and not buggy.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 3 would be like less games needed to get the max points that you need to do max pulls every week, so that it doesn't feel as much of a chore. And then instead give people something they can spend their extra points on, because right now it's not like, because you're gated. Regardless of how many arena emblems you have, there's only so much you can get. Like, it should feel good to keep playing, but at the same time, I guess the people who win every game, you don't want them to keep queuing, because then they just win every game and it would be bad for the match. So forget number 4, or just 1 and 2. Just give me you know, higher impulse speed, and
what would
it
be
actually
really
works.
easy for them to do as well.
Go ahead.
Yeah, is just have like an arena rep bundle in whatever new art comes out next month. Just be like, hey, you can claim an arena rep bundle, get, I don't know, 100,000 arena rep per pull or whatever you need to do to level it up, so that even people who don't want to AFK arenas can just still get their max rep and complete whatever they want to complete within that loop without even needing to participate. So I think that would make a lot of people happy as well.
Yep. So I hope you get what you wish for, and I know you're not like, there's a lot of people who enjoy arenas, and I hope that they give it some meaningful performance improvements.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else did we want to
100%.
talk about today? Did we cover everything? I'm going back to the list.
So I guess like, well, overuse of Officer Depot tokens.
Yeah. Wait, what was Crucible?
So Crucible, we got a recent Crucible again, which is actually really cool. I hope they do more of them. Basically, it's like doing those events where you got to do like your solo waves, you got to do your
Oh, the
Holy
Bold Eagle
Armadas, and you got
events.
5 days
Like
to complete the event.
Michaela's.
Boldly go, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. That was fun. For me, it was a little bit as a raid logger, someone who was doing the bare minimum. It was a bit of a struggle to get to the last 2 milestones, but I get it. If you were actively engaged in playing a lot, it's rewarding, and I think that's fine. It should be like that. Some of the events could use some tweaking, like the polys, like 25 polys is a little much. I feel like, because like each person can only get like 2, reasonably within that time frame, and
1 a week,
yeah, like if you saved one from last week, like I'm going off best case scenario. You host an arena, 5 other people can join. Most people have like a six seater. It's very hard to get 25 without leeching. That's, I think, an unreasonable number.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the max should be less. Some of the individual tasks could be tuned better, but overall, it's a very cool event. You have extra slack, so you don't have to finish every task, and it's 7 days, but there's 5 days of like tasks, so there's 2 extra days. All that I like, and then the way you can see them ahead of time, you get progress on them regardless of what. I don't know why they unlock after each day, but it's fine. Like, I still think it's cool.
That's fair.
Like, it makes people feel like they get something cool. Yeah, and there might be some things at like different ops levels where you can't do, and they should fix that.
Yeah.
It can be improved. Don't scrap it. Just make some small, continuous improvements. Like, don't let it be like Alliance tournaments where you just leave it, and then like after a few cycles, it's like stale and people running out of stuff to get, and then you do one like thing where you pronounce, oh, I'm Grandmaster, and we're adding all this stuff, and really all you're doing is adding like 5 things to the store and some unrelated events to try and sell packs, and then like I don't, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think the core mechanics of Alliance tournaments needs to be overhauled, just in general, to make them more Alliance focused and make you want to actually do stuff with your Alliance, right? Like, not just be like, hey, have you done your 30k task for today? If not, I'm going to boot you from the Alliance. Like, it shouldn't be like that. It should be like, hey, let's work together to do X, Y, and Z as a group. But yeah, like the Crucible, Michaela's Crucible, there's great, like, you don't have to do everything. Leave the hard stuff if you want to. You can do whatever you want on day one, max it out on day one, essentially, if you've got the time to do it. And that feels great for players too, to be able to like, hey, I've done it all now. I don't have to worry about it, and I'll get the rewards. They made the change to the last milestone, which had officer shards last time, which was Strength with Scotty. This time did not. So I don't know if that's another way to give new officer stuff. They would be nice to have officer shards there. But yeah, I really like that type of event, and do it at your own pace, which is, again, something that this game needs more of, is to do stuff.
And they moved it to between the arcs. Get skip kudos to Scopely for making that adjustment.
Yes.
That was great timing between the arcs, and not on top of like so 3 other things. Great. Do that next month as well.
Yeah.
See, we're not just negative here.
That's a great between the arc event.
We give kudos.
No, no.
Potato is non-toxic. All right, let's talk about, because I actually, I know it's like the beginning of your day, but it's the end of my day, and I'm just fading, as you can probably
Sorry,
know.
Mosh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're fine, you're fine.
Okay.
I want to talk about Officer Depot tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So, you said they're overused. What do you mean?
Every single event for the last like month and a half, he's just been straight. He's just Officer Depot tokens. Again, this month's reward, here's some more Officer Depot tokens. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I like them, but they're, for me, really getting so quick to the point where if they're not adding new officers to the Officer Depot token store, then you're going to unlock everything there and then become transporter patterns 2.0, where, hey, these are now useless again. So I'm just raising a little bit of a red flag now for 4 or 5 months down the track when you guys have maxed out all the officers that you can max out in there and go, why can't I use these to get new officers anymore? I just feel like they're cool, but again, at the same time, it's like, I want something different. I don't always want Officer Depot tokens either. So, and Ryan's right, it does take a lot to max out an officer, but when you look at officer efficiency through Augment, you look at just the general way that you acquire officers through any of these other ways to acquire officers, you will get to that point where you probably will get a lot of these officers maxed out or unlocked. I just think that they're super overused and they're great. Like, don't get me wrong, they're great, but I'm getting...
Well, they should just add more officers to the tokens.
Just going...
Because they haven't...
They should as well.
They've been giving us officer tokens for like 3-4 months now, right? But we haven't gotten any new officers in a while. I think that's a problem. Or if they don't add any new ones, it's going to be a problem for me. And then the other thing I want with the officer tokens is give us a conversion from transporter patterns to officer tokens, because transporter patterns are piling up and are going to pile up for players. And it, like, when you have an officer maxed out and you get new shards, it doesn't become officer depot tokens. If it's one of the new officers, it still becomes transporter patterns. So either change that.
Correct.
Right? If an officer is available via depot tokens, then whenever you have it maxed out, you get shards for it, you should get depot tokens. Or give us a conversion from like 10 transporter patterns into 1 officer depot token or something. But I actually, other than that, I do like them as a reward. I don't have like, for me, it's not, I didn't feel like they were overused. But as you can see, I have 750,000 of them. So what I really want is some freaking sliders. Why do I have to keep asking for this? Just put sliders everywhere. Just one time. Just go through the game, one patch, add sliders everywhere, and then every time you add a new thing, put sliders on it. That's it. Just
it's simple.
Right? This is like, we could all disagree on a lot of things, but I venture to guess that 90% plus of the community would get behind me on this. We want sliders on everything.
Yeah. and to be clear as well, Psycho Jester, this is like how I feel about them, but you're right. Like, they do help the quick acquisition of really needed officers for the early level players. And yeah, like 100 shards of an epic is, 400,000 officer depot tokens. So it is a lot to get even just an unlock. Just for me, my personal opinion, I just every single event I see is officer depot tokens. It's like, great. I want something else.
It's like the
my
choice
spend
rewards
events on the weekend. I don't want it to always be officer depot tokens.
It feels samey, even though it's really like, actually, this is just currency. It can be exchanged for goods and services.
Yeah.
You can get whatever you want, Morty. But maybe that's the problem, because now you have to decide. And, I know Ryan had a problem with that. He's like, oh, I don't want officer tokens because then I have to decide how to spend them best. But
it's hard. You don't know where you're going to get other officer sourcing from, Mosh.
Game making you think. How dare they?
Correct. How dare they?
Ew. Choices rough. See?
So do you want to talk about...
Yep.
Yeah, it is 100%. So do you want to talk about aggregation and the new loop?
You can see what I'm doing. So I didn't buy a pack for the new building. I've just done the events every day, and I did get the battle pass, which does have some building upgrade materials in it. But this is like, these ships have like shit for HP, right? Like 340 mil. Well, actually, that's not shit, but
oh yeah.
I mean, it is compared to my ships. Like, usually my ships are killing stuff 10 times bigger than them, right? My ship is 2 billion, his is 300.
Right.
If you look at the battle log, I'm shooting it once, it's losing its shield. I'm shooting it again, it's dying. So I'm kicking its ass, but every time it takes 50% of my hull, minus like 20% now because I've leveled the building a little bit because I have hypothermic stabilizer 20%. But this giving, like, after all the problems that Tal caused, they've given hostiles Tal without the condition of burning, so no counterplay. And then I just have this sinking feeling that there's going to be PvP officers that have hypothermia. And there's going to be forbidden tech that applies hypothermia, and then forbidden tech that like chaos tech that like prevents hypothermia. And like just like they did with ISO Cascade, where they like invalidated all of the piercing and mitigation stuff in the game, hypothermia is invalidating like not just piercing and whatnot, it's invalidating everything. Like
correct.
Like your ship could be a tier 1 Dideridex or be a tier 12 Dideridex, and it doesn't make a fucking difference because you're losing 50% of your hull no matter what. Doesn't matter what your piercing is, doesn't matter what your ISO defense is, doesn't matter what your apex barrier is, it doesn't matter what fleet commanders you have, what officers you have, what artifacts you have, what research you have, what building levels you have. None of it matters. Send your ships to die over and over again, and just be glad that you're not using Sigma speedups for these.
And that's a key point as well to invalidating player progression, right? It's like nothing you have done up until this point in the game matters in this loop, essentially, if you've got enough ships to kill them relatively quickly or whatever. But
it's Scopely's way of saying, I was using, what have you paid for lately? Right? Like, what have you done for me lately? Like, what have you wasted money on lately? Nothing? Then F you. You're garbage.
Yeah. Basically, I was using a tier 12 Dideridex and a tier 1 Dideridex because... and mining officers or Badgie or Mbenga, because it didn't matter. So all that mattered was that I could get enough ships in the system and hopefully kill enough hostiles to complete the like, again, we got to separate the missions or the events from the actual loop itself because they're different. Really easy to kill 1 or 2 hostiles, get max loot with a loot crew at a higher level to refine for multiple days on end. But that's different to ops as well.
Care
but for the events, like
it's not a plus for me that the event is easy to complete with a loot crew or the refinery. Like, that's not a plus for me. That, like,
the mechanic isn't fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yes, it's good to have events that are some events that are grindy and some that are not grindy. Whatever. Like, I'm happy for the people who aren't overwhelmed by like a video game feeling like a job in the amount of hour they got to spend on it to not feel like they're missing out.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate and I get it, but like, fundamentally, before the reward mechanism, the game should be a game, right? Like, regardless of rewards and costs and everything, it should be a fun activity. And it's not fun to feel like you don't matter. Like, why am I even here? How about you pretend I killed the ships? You pretend I sent my ships and they died to hazard. Like, why am I like... you don't need me for the scope. Just give me the event rewards. Like... How about just subtract the titanium required to repair my ships and then give me the event rewards? Like, why do we even make this more complicated? So Tricky points out that you can use smaller ships to do this because, like,
100%.
Because they're like, these ships aren't strong. So like, I bet my Pylum could do okay against I bet my Pylum can kill these and be just fine and get even more loot. But unfortunately, there's also an event that rewards you for how much of your hull you got wasted, like how big your hull was. So this aggregate event, if I could ever get to it, because apparently I'm completing stuff left and right. This ALB, and you know how I feel about Alliance leaderboards. Like, I know I'm like, my contribution doesn't mean anything because I'm garbage human being by not being Op 70 and having a vengeance. But like, I don't want to let my I want to be at least in the top 10 of my alliance in terms of my contribution to this event. I guess this one doesn't matter. So the previous one was about how much hypothermia you mitigated.
Yeah, for the depot tokens.
Yes. This one is different. But for that one, you wanted to send your ship with the biggest hull. So I just assumed it was similar. That's why I sent big ships. So I guess I should switch all these ships out to like cheaper ships, that because everything probably kills these in one round.
Yeah, not everything or every player as well. Like, the 2 biggest things to think about is if you are going to round 2, then you do want more power and you do want to be able to like kill them in round 1 because you're taking double the damage of the beginning of the round. You just take damage, so you want to kill it round 1. The other thing, Naga Delvos, which is the Beck officer in the game, if you have her below deck, she's
the Beck
hull repair efficiency. So What's that? Sorry, Mosh?
No, just laughing at you calling her the Beck officer.
Yeah, the Beck officer. Yeah. So it's hull repair. So it makes things cheaper as well. And basically, I'm going in there with my Revenant. The Revenant's got good impulse speed. It's relatively cheap to repair, so I'm having fun with that. But yeah, for me, it's before the first time they ran the heroic event, 600. I guess iterations. Like I went in there and died 600 times to then complete my heroic because it's 24,400 as a Op 69. So it did take a lot. I did it because I wanted to prove that it was possible and whatnot. But yeah, I think as well, like the content coming out from this arc, when you look at like the research tree, it's really recon building locked. So it's really hard to actually like get significant improvements out from any player. So you can get increased armor piercing, shield piercing accuracy against the hostiles. You can get stuff for the older augment loops as well. You can get some increased transient mining. But a lot of this stuff like is going to take a lot of time to get either A, enough research tokens to unlock, or B, the building high enough to pass that lock. The refinery itself, like having a one pool, it's super gated, so it doesn't take much to do the refinery. I'll pull up the research
and we can talk about it, because I think
this
is the part that a lot of people tell me they enjoy, is when we talk about the new mechanics, new arcs, and you kind of tell me like people have benefited from it, like when we were talking about the transition artifacts, when we were going through the artifacts and you point out which ones you get, like a lot of people learned from that. So I do appreciate, like, same cool with like the fleet commanders, when you were telling me like which ones are key. So in this research sheet, do you have a plan on how you're going through it? Is there ones that you're avoiding, ones that you're trying to get?
Okay, so for me, I'm looking at this research tree and looking at the heroic that is coinciding with this research tree. Basically, I want to make sure that if I do spend the research tokens, that I'm going to have spent enough to get the next tier of the heroic, which will then get me a few more building parts to then hopefully build the building up for the other heroic that's currently running, to then get more research stuff to then continue. And
got it.
Hopefully it's like a self-fulfilling loop anyway. Realistically, the good stuff in here right at the end is the vengeance optimization. I don't know if that's actually going to be significant or not for vengeance owners by the time they get there. You do need to max the building essentially to get to that point. So if you're a high level player and you want that, essentially you buy the entire month and you don't need to do anything after that, because you'll get, if you want the vengeance optimization. A lot of the stuff in here is PvP related as well. So further down the track, there's going to be some more Apex Shred stuff and more just defense, general right? PvP damage stuff. Well, the Apex Shred is wave defense, that one, yeah.
Crit damage and wave defense, needs to be so Apex high level. Barrier for battleships when fighting players. So this PvP, okay, they do say PvP. So there's these 6 PvP ones. So there's Apex Barrier for different ship types, and then Isolytic Defense for different ship types. Do you, like, in my bracket, or like at Op 60, Rataran seems to be the go-to PvP ship. Mm-hmm. So, like, as a Romulan ship guy, you know, the Daredex was my first tier 12, and that just wasn't a good time. So, I
love the Daredex.
Yeah, but it gets clowned on by every Rataran, like,
for sure.
even ones that are like lesser geared than me, because of all the piercing. Because like Isolytic gets mitigated, so it's all normal damage that matters, and Ratarans just clap my Daredex. Even though, yeah. So I could the normal thing to do is to just get my own Rataran up, but my Klingon research, but more importantly, my Klingon PvP forbidden tech, because I still don't have a Tantalus field, right? I'm working on it slowly, but free to play. So I assume you don't have a Tantalus field either.
No.
So my Rataran would probably
the new prototype tech. Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't even looked at the new ones. No. Maybe we can talk about those after.
Yeah, we should.
So for the Rataran, I don't have the Klingon PvP FD. I'm working on it, but I have the other two. So I just decided I'm going to focus on my Enterprise D, because it natively counters Ratarans anyway. So that's my plan.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think that's reasonable for sure.
For stuff like this, I'm going to be focusing on the Explorer section, just because if I'm planning to stay 60 for a bit, then I should farm these Rotaran Andes who have these like 4 billion. I went into arena last Monday. There was a guy who had 2 Rotarans, like 3.5 and 4 billion, and he just farmed me. Like it was painful. So
yeah, it would have been.
But well, which one do you
is the Recon Locust needing to be a specific level? To be honest, like I'm not super excited about any of these researchers because by the time I get to Recon Locust like 56 for some of the Apex barrier, maybe it'd be the month after where they've introduced something different that's actually going to affect PvP more. The stuff around wave defense is fine, but again, if you've got a GS31 already, and by the time you get to Recon Locust 51 or Recon Locust, whatever you need the building to get to, your GS31 probably is doing enough in waves anyway that you don't need to worry about the research. So this research tree is super gated. Like,
is that this building?
It's the new building.
Okay.
Yeah. So the research is super gated, and you need to do every little bit to get to the next bit of the research to get to the next bit of the research. So it's the worst kind of research tree, where it should just be like, hey, if you have enough, the building at whatever level and you've got enough to do it, you should just be able to get that research. The isogen increase as well goes up to 3,000 at max at level 6. If you've got even a low forge building, you're getting more than 3,000 anyway. 51 is the start of most stuff because that coincides with the day 1 pack, which then gets you to the uncommon side of the actual loop. For me, the loop itself is simple. It doesn't take time, which is great. The current events in the current month is going to take a long time to do all the stuff around the loop. The research tree is super gated, super locked. It's not going to be super important. Okay. The building is really good though. Like for me, as a G6 player, building speed, any building speed stuff is great. The ship construction side of the building would be better if it was tier up speed. Research speed, that's probably a nothing. You're getting extra comps that give you over 1,000 if you put them together right of increased research speed anyway. But yeah, the hypothermic stabilizer, at least the building this time around is loop relevant. So in the terms of that, upgrade the building, do better at the loop. So that's a plus, I guess. But yeah, it's just going to take you a long time to progress it up unless you're doing all the events or you buy the pack.
You get it to 20%, right? The hypothermic stabilizer. And then it's like,
yeah,
you go from 15 to 20, and then it's just sitting at 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, and then 25. Why? Why give me nothing for 3 levels?
There are reasons. Like if you're a low level player, like for sure these it'll be a quicker increase for you, and you'll get to the point where you're hitting the level of hostile you want earlier, which is great. And always make sure when you do upgrade the building. So if you go in the building as well, Mosh, there is a little I button there as well, which tells you when your refinery changes to. Actually, not in the building; it's in the refinery itself. So if you click the refinery and you click on aggregation, the I buttons on the locust barrier tells you when it actually improves.
But you know my
so
beef
that's something
with this?
super important to notice. So you don't need to look at the charts.
If you go look in the mirror universe, there's this thing, like they've had this notation for refinery stuff.
They do it different ways, yeah.
Where it says NSCA protected tier 12. No, they've been pretty consistent with it. Like throughout the game, everywhere else, there's this little banner on top of it that says what it's based on. This is the tier 12 protector awards. This is the District 56 level. And so now they've done a new thing, and because they did like the eye somewhere else on the events, they also added it here, and it's like, this is why like arc runner this, arc runner that.
But do we expect
who runs the game?
Different though.
Pick a guy, pick one intern, pick one janitor, have him make all this and go through one person. This is not how you make good product. There should be a singular person who unifies your shit so it doesn't like vary randomly from month to month, and there's one person accountable who knows what's going on with your video game. And I guess that's supposed to be Connor, but I don't think he's ever played Star Trek Fleet Command, so he can, words that I'm not going to say.
I don't know. I'm not going to talk about Connor or whatever, like in that sense either. Like that's the big thing before is like, yeah, you've got an economy, right? And now you've realized you've ruined your economy. Well, should you not have been monitoring your economy? Like, that's the question, right? But in the aggregation loop itself, the refinery, as you tier it up, you can repull stuff. So basically what I've been trying to do is double pulling the locus schematics where possible. I'm kind of ignoring the research pool altogether at the moment because looking at the research tree, there's not a lot for me at my level.
It's underwhelming. Got it. What about?
Sure, there's more for people who are. Yes, there's really good rewards in here, but you need to be mindful that if you start putting into the stasis globe now, which is a fantastic tech for increasing hazard resistance, helps with older loops as well. You're
Okay, so you think this is something
to upgrade the building?
So
I think it's a good tech.
My strategy here in the aggregation refinery is I want to get the building up as fast as possible. Research, I'm only doing single pulls, I think. I guess I just leveled mine up. So, or I did this on my phone, not here. I want to do double pulls on the recon locus schematics, and obviously you can only do single pulls here. I haven't been getting stasis globes, but I do have enough, I think, to get them, to start pulling them. Are you getting these?
You then delay. No, you then delay your building progress if by getting stasis globes early. But up to you. If you need them now and you don't really care about the building, then every day you can claim your stasis globe and unlock that first. That's fine. But
so Ryan's saying he's skipping
upgrading
research.
The building, which has other stuff attached to it as well and helps with the loop later on.
He's just planning to do the building until level 51.
Basically, I've got. Yeah, I'm going to do the building until I don't need to do the building anymore. If I've got excess for double pulls every day, great. I'll look at getting something else from that. But for me, yeah, building up as quick as possible because I need to hit my level to actually like have the event structure.
Because I looked at this and I thought
it makes sense, right? So
it was like 3 different things:
warp speed, or 61 or something like that. Mm-hmm.
Warp speed, health, and hazard resistance. And I thought, what ship am I going to want to put this on? Is this like for a mining ship, or are you saying the hazard resistance is so good that I'm going to want it anyway?
Well, you can use it for anything. Again, like GS31 is going to have 500% natively. Same with the Vindicator. You don't need it on either of those. If you were punching up in terms of like mining higher transition node space and you needed that hazard resistance, that's good. If you wanted to grind hostiles in a higher system with 500%, and
so like you got your
doesn't have 500%.
What's your biggest ship right now, Morty? It's a Velox, right?
My Borg Cube tier. Or Velox is the your
Velox and your Borg Cube. So like you got a Metreon Cascade, I got an Agimus, and you got this new one. Do you put
that's Chaos Tech. The Stasis Globe is Chaos Tech, so it's the other.
Oh, okay. That's so. Then it's like it's competing with like Godsend and Chrono Deflector, I guess.
Correct.
Okay. All right, that makes more sense. All right, never mind.
Yeah. So, in terms of Gen X's question as well, before we move on to the prototype tech as well, like if you're up to 42 to get to 45, I think you'd be able to do that probably within the month, and then you get access to the current like events. You can do the missions or whatever and start working on the building. I think it's not too much of a jump. Like in terms of like is it going to be amazing? Maybe later on
exist until like, you're up 45.
I don't think so. I think you need to actually unlock the building to start
and you need
that
to be up
refinery,
45
to like start that loop.
Wow, 45.
Yeah.
Such a weird place.
Well, this is what we talked about with the old design because they wanted to push people to 50 plus.
Yeah, but I thought it would be 40 at least. Like, oh my God. 45?
That was waves. That was waves, Mosh. They're going to keep upping it. But I don't know if they're going to change direction now. But at the end of the year, 50 plus is content, right? Like new content's 50 plus or
it's just such player hostile behavior.
45, man. Or as people call it in the tutorial.
Well, it was 40 now.
It's not different to what they've done before.
I mean, I understood the 40.
I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying it's...
Because I do think that the game 0 to 39 is a bit of like a tutorial. And then it really opens up... Like, to me, the game before 39 and the game after 40 are two different games. And it made sense to have that be the dividing line. But then now moving it to 45 isn't a dividing line for anything. It's just arbitrary. It's so... it has no elegance.
Everything's arbitrary.
Wow.
Yeah, fair.
Welcome
I
to
agree with the no
SDFC,
elegance
where
part, for
everything's
sure.
arbitrary and the points don't matter. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. We've got Drew Carey hosting as well. So
Yeah.
And now, scene
These
from
are
a hat.
yeah.
So
Okay, so you wanted to talk
basically,
about the
like,
new
the building itself for a G6 player, building speed increase,
Oh, this? Okay.
building increase. we could talk about the new. I just want to finish answering Gen X's question. Like, I think it's worth it. You've only got 3 levels to go. I would go through those 3 levels and progress to be at that cutting edge, because you want to be part of the new arc and the new content as much as you can. So if you don't go now and they do this again next month, then you're going to be in the same situation. The only
Okay,
other
so
thing
you
can
either
do is
want to
wait
do
see
it
what the
this
Battle Pass and
weekend or
current
next
events are
weekend.
for your ops level. If you're happy with that,
But
correct. That's all I wanted to say, Mosh. I hope I answered the question.
yeah, it sounds the answer is, I think the question was, if you do it in the middle of this arc, will you gain access to it? And the answer is yes. You get the building. Obviously, if you get there today, I believe you'd get like this aggregation events now too. I think whenever you hit a level, any events that you were eligible for I would have been eligible for. Like, if the event is currently ongoing, you get the event. If the event has ended, obviously you're out of luck. So, like, if you can get there, in the next 24 hours without messing things up, do it. Otherwise, personally, I would wait till next weekend. So you can get, like, because you're going to spend materials opsing up. Well, maybe not. 42 to 45 isn't a lot of materials. So, honestly, like, until you're 50, being a weak 45 or a strong 45 doesn't matter. And in terms of SLBs, 45 is the top of the bracket. It's like 43 to 45 is its own bracket, right? It's 40 to 42, 43 to 45, and then 46 to 50. So, and then for arenas, 46 is what you want to be, not 45, because 46 you get the pylum. But I don't think any of that stuff matters too much to someone with Gen X's playstyle. I think if you have the materials, you either go there this weekend or next weekend. And if you're comfortable doing it this weekend, do it now, because you get more events this way.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. So looking at the new prototype tech as well. So if you get the building to 51, then you automatically unlock the Orion Syndicate bomb for free. And basically that has increased warp range, ship XP from combat, FKR rep, and hostile loot.
Okay. So the prototype tech, they're all the ones that have the pro tag. So there's just 4 of them, or 5 of them.
Yes, that's correct.
And they're all forbidden tech. There's no new, like, there is a new chaos tech, but this is not a prototype tech. It just happens to have come out this month.
Yeah, but they're their own thing, because they've got their own tier up.
When you say they sorry,
own upgrade
is
stuff,
the Stasis Cube a prototype tech, or is it just a chaos tech?
No, that's a chaos tech.
Okay, got it. So back to so prototype tech are these 5 right now, right? Counterplate device, harvester, Romulan
anything
mines.
that's got the bracket pro in front of them.
Okay, so so there's 5 new. All right, and then you said they have their own tier up mechanics. Is that correct?
That's correct. So with prototype tech, it's like chaos tech. If you have the materials to upgrade it, it's 100% success rate. So you just upgrade it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are the epics and the rares. So I don't know what tiering up is going to actually look like and where the bottlenecks are going to be for tiering these things up.
Do you know what kind of material they need?
Looking at the Orion Syndicate.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the prototype tech protomatter and rare prototype tech protomatter.
Okay, so they have their own
unlock
material.
those through the loop once you get your building up to.
They don't share upgrade.
The rods are the same.
Oh, okay. But these 2 things are different. The Forbidden Tech Protomatter and Forbidden Tech reactors. They have their own prototype reactors and prototype Protomatter. That's going to be a mouthful to say.
Yeah, and there's going to be epic as well. When you get to the building 67 plus, there's epic prototype tech for upgrade stuff as well. But yeah, like the bomb is interesting in the sense that if you max it out, you get base warp range of 50. Then you can combine that with the multiphasic chamber in the other slot for another 30. So you can get up to 80 increased warp range for all your ships. I don't know how good that's going to be or where that breakpoint's going to be. Aside from that,
how do you get
everything
this?
else
You
from
said
that.
there's the sourcing for this one.
Yeah, Recon Locus 51. It's automatically given.
Oh, so you get the new building to level 51, and that gives you. Okay, I'm not that far. Well, I am kind of far. Okay, and it says here Orion Syndicate Bomb unlock 1. Cool. So you get like all 150 shards all at once.
Yes.
Cool.
And they did say that as well in the patch notes.
Yeah, but like the people
Everything
this is for is people like me who don't read good.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Mosh.
You're fine. I kind of rushed you, and so I appreciate you trying to get all the info out, but I also don't want to. Okay, I want to make sure people can follow. So, all right. So there's 5 of these new things. I need to make sure that okay. Mm-hmm. And they said that they like do different stuff. So, self-replicating mines has apex barrier against players, increase apex shred against players. Increase opponent's shield mitigation, increase battleship isolating damage. But this seems really good for PvP. Is that your read as well?
Yes.
They're just very strong.
If you love Slipstream, you get 3 better Slipstreams. So PvP and arenas is going to be whack going forward because you're going to have 4 PvP ships with Slipstreams inbuilt, essentially. It's going to be interesting. The Apex barrier as well, 40k at max. Like, that's a lot of Apex barrier. Yes, there's a lot more Apex shred in the game than before. But if you add that up with every other bit of Apex barrier you've got,
yeah, how much does Tantalus
you're still
field
mitigating
give?
a lot of damage. And then the only difference between, I'm not sure. We'll check that in a sec. The only difference, though, Mosh, in all 3 of these is the Battleship, Interceptor, and Explorer have the 4th abilities different.
Okay, so I want to just like.
So how much is in Tantalus? How much do you get from Tantalus?
7,000. 7,000 versus 40,000. So it's like 6 times as much. Okay. Okay. Just when I was getting close to having like I was so close to being equal with the Giga spenders. With their stupid Rotarans and humbling them with my non-PvP spend supremacy through game knowledge. And now they release a new one that's like 7 times as good. Great. Bro.
Well, even the bottom ability of Tantalus, isolated damage increase, the Battleship one has 500% ISO damage increase at max. So that's 5 times better than the Tantalus field as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, the hull... Does it also have hull health? It doesn't have hull health, does it? No. But it does have, like... I mean, okay, so people aren't going to have it max out without spending a ton. So there is that.
Correct.
But it will take him a little while. All right, so these 3 PvP ones are OP, we get it. Or are they all PvP?
Yes.
No, there's this Harvester one.
A mining one as well.
Okay, so there's no PvE ones. They're just all PvP.
Well, the Harvester and the Orion Syndicate bomb are the PvE ones.
Well, I guess I don't consider mining to be... Mining is just...
true. Yeah, it's PvE. Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
Mining is mining.
Yeah. Player versus rock. PVR. Player versus node.
Yeah.
Increase base max cargo for surveys by 350 base protected cargo.
It's good. That's good.
I mean, okay, I guess if you tell me it's
the
good.
max cargo as a G6 player.
Mining speed 1500%. How is that compared to a mining thing? Where is it?
No, it's nothing. The cell key, it's not much.
Okay.
The
protected cargo
when you step off a node is good as well. 25% to.
Yeah, that's also nice.
Yeah.
Because it means in like one click you get more stuff. Because like if you're like me and you just send your ships to mine a fat note because you're not going to log into the game for a day, that's 25% more stuff you were going to get now. Cool.
And you combine that with PickQ, another 20% at max, like you're gonna almost like get to the point where you start doubling what you mine after a while. So it really
Wait, you
speeds up
use your
mining if
PickQ
that's
on
something you
mining
care
ships?
about.
I love PickQ. He's always
I don't, but I'm saying you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's usually just because he's like hull repair. He's Chad. But I did spend a bunch of my epic export credits, so now I can upgrade him, but I can't upgrade him. So I can't wait for the next Alliance tournament because that's when I will have epic. That's when I will have the credits to upgrade him. Okay, so what about this rare one, Orion Syndicate Bomb? The warp range is nice, like you said.
Yeah, so
but there's also ship XP.
Everything else.
Reputation is nice. How much is 300 versus what's Agony Booth? 500. That's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. I can see
it's
this
an alternative
going on my Protector and then the Agony Booth going on like one of my other PvE ships. One of my like G5 ships.
Yeah. And if multi-rep grinding becomes needed, for sure.
Whoa. 50% loot. It's not Armada, but still 50%. Because the Agamus is only 20%, right?
How much is your Rachel Garrett? Sorry, Mosh?
200%. But listen. Yeah, okay, never mind. If it was also Armadas, then I'd be something. But the fact that it's not Armada.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Agamus is 36%. When you're looking
at all this tech anyway.
At max. Correct. My Agamus is
like you make
30%. Yeah, okay. So this rare is not that good.
You make the decision though. Well, it depends. You make the decision. Like, what are you doing in game? What do you need? Like, if you're killing stuff really easily and you care about increasing ship XP from combat, great. Use that with an extra comp for ship XP increase.
Yeah, because rods grow on trees,
if you don't have an Agony Booth, it's going to take you. Well, they're trying to introduce more rods as well, but again,
they're just trying. It's so hard. It's so hard.
I'll finish the point around.
They're working on it.
I know.
They're desperately trying to give us more stuff.
Like multi-grinding.
It's just not possible.
That's great. The warp range could be interesting.
Yes, the warp range is
more,
cool.
But at some point, more is more. That I don't really like fully agree with that argument. Like, but I understand. I do get it. But you make a lot of decisions, right? And the other thing with rods as well, if you're doing upgrading your forbidden tech, you can unlock rods within that. So if there's forbidden techs that have rods with
like from tearing it up
inbuilt, when you tear them up, maybe you get 12k out of that. So look at other stuff that you can from tearing them up. Yes, the reward for
but that's a one-time thing. So when I think about
again, the loop has
switching forbidden tech, I think about it like, what's my daily or weekly income? If I'm going to switch them once a week or once a day or whatever, I want to make sure I have that much income. And rod income is much lower than if you switch out like PvP versus PvE stuff once a week, just for arenas, and then one time for incursion. That's still way more rods than anybody has income for it, especially on higher ships. Like it wasn't as much of an issue in G4, but it is definitely an issue in G5, and I hear it's even worse in G6. Right? So.
It's like 64k to unlock the slot, I think, in G6 or something like that. It is ridiculous.
And then every time you equip it, it's swapping the 6750.
30 something thousand, I think.
Oh wow, 30,000. That's a lot. Okay.
Well, it depends on what it is. I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head.
So where do you? But what's the sourcing for the new stuff?
Mm-hmm.
What's the?
What do you mean?
For upgrading the new stuff. For upgrading the new proto matter.
The loop. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But that's super building locked as well. So you're not.
Wait, what building?
This building? Getting that stuff till your building goes up.
The Recon Locus?
The Recon Locus, yeah, because that changed your refinery to then start getting the pools to do the upgrade stuff for the new the prototype tech.
This whole section. So then you got to spend 5-star uncommon. I don't understand what I'm getting and what I'm spending. Uncommon
So you
aggregation
start
ladder.
at common. So this is the chart that Jules Verne, Blue Mandalorian, Quasar, and others have worked on. It's really great. So that has everything you kind of need to deep dive into it. If you go to the Recon Locus building side, you can see like level 1 is common, 51 is uncommon, where you get the Orion Syndicate bomb and unlock uncommon rare prototype mats that you can get from the store. 61 is epic protomatter, and 67 is the epic catalyst. So you need it to be at a certain tier to then get the stuff you need. I have a feeling that potentially this is meant to be G7 content, because starting at 67 seems weird. I imagine that should have been 71, but G7 possibly was delayed, or this was meant to come out later than it has. The refinery itself, even for the fusion rods, you won't start getting, or at least I don't see fusion rods in my store. I don't know if you see them in your aggregation store, Mosh, but for me, my aggregation refinery at building level, what building level is mine at the moment? 32. I don't actually have any of the rods. Maybe I've got max rods at 70k. That could be the reason, but
yeah,
because it shows on the chart you should be getting them.
Max rods 70k is so silly. Oh my god.
Yeah. They love, because they don't want you to hoard more, because they realize the stuff has value. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you've
when
played
it costs 60,000 to
because...
unlock a thing, you can't have the max be 7. Okay, like I understand the max, but it's the size of the max.
Yeah, correct.
So these Time Crystal, Hull Piercer, Dorado, Berserker,
G4.
These are terrible. Mm-hmm. Like no one should care about these.
We can get them all in Alliance tournaments as well.
Yeah, and I don't, because that's how bad they are. Rare prototype tech protomatter. Yeah. So there's rare now. Uncommon and rare. Rare protomatter and catalyst. Okay. And then so your whole this is like a preview of what it's going to be like when your Recon Locus is level 51. So until level 51, you don't get the new protomatter. But once your building is level 51, then you can get this new stuff. But like 40 this is catalyst. You get 48 catalysts. How do you get the new tech? You can't. It's just pay only. You just buy it.
So you're getting the bomb. You're getting the bomb.
That's it. Okay.
And you can start stockpiling it until they give you the other stuff.
Okay, got it. Good to know. Hey, do you want to spend $500 to have like... Yeah, okay. I hear you now. I got it. I'll think about it next year. I'll collect the stuff. I'll get my building to 51, start collecting the materials to upgrade things. And then eventually when they add it to like Section 31 or something of like that, that's when I'll actually be allowed to participate.
I'm sure the sourcing of the rest of the ARC, which the prototype tech that is currently pay only, probably 100 days. I mean, normally it's 100 days anyway. Unless I'm wrong, if other people in chat have more information than me about that, more than happy to be wrong. And for me, like, progressing with Sigma speedups, any building speed stuff is good. The building at the moment, if you do all the events, you're getting it up pretty quickly as a free-to-play. If you did buy the pack to unlock at 51, that's great. You're going to get more fusion rods. You're going to get the uncommon stuff, so you can start accumulating more research stuff or prototype stuff for when you do get the other techs. Like, there's benefits there, but this isn't something that like I'm jumping over myself to be like, I must have this at max now. It's fine. And the C12 Space Globe, if you don't have that, that's another... Well, this ARC is for spenders, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I'm fine with the ARC itself, honestly. Like, I dislike the mechanic of hypothermia, but, I mean, I did the heroic while talking to you for 20 minutes. So I don't really get the big... Like, I think it's unfun gameplay, but in terms of the ARC, it's a new hostile you gotta kill with a new refinery. Okay. It is what it is. We've had this before. That's kind of their bag of tricks. Battle Pass seems fine.
Is going to be. Yeah, that's going to be the really interesting part. Is what's the mid-month patch going to drop, what are we doing instead of flashpoints? Because we've only got half the arc at the moment, right? So the half the arc we've got is
new?
the
Like
mostly paid prototype PvP tech. What do you mean?
Like this idea of like having a mid-month. Like I know they usually have a mid-month patch, but usually the arc, like I don't remember only getting one officer, and like it seems like half an arc.
It is. Yeah. So
is that something they're trying?
Stuff mid-month before, but this probably is going to be the. Yeah, because flashpoints had been like postponed, right?
So Flashpoint was supposed to keep happening.
I think they really had
this
to think
month
about
as well.
Correct. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So realistically, we would have had 2 invasions go on through the month. But now without that, I think they've had to change stuff, and then that's possibly changed the number of officers or the abilities or whatever, because it's all different now.
I see.
But yeah, upgrade the building when you can. Mm-hmm.
No, I was reading Psycho's comment about getting Psycho. You need to not worry about the building. You need to get your ass to Ops 50 as soon as possible.
Yeah.
For someone who is as knowledgeable as you are, you were Ops 39 for way too long, but it's okay now. You're in a good alliance now, finally, and just get yourself a protector as fast as you can. It's gonna help you as much, like a ton, and just keep opting up until you get to 46 or 50, and then you can pause. But trust me, once you get like that 46 rare, like your whole gameplay loop will change. Waiting on a freaking event store? Yeah.
Well, we're not getting one, Psycho Jester. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, your comment, Mosh, to be really fair, yeah, you're right.
I mean, like, I'm
at a lower level.
I'm actually near the limit, so I think we're gonna have to talk about the event stores another time.
But, oh, sorry. Yeah, that's fine.
No problem. It's
really quickly. What they did say is the Ferengi stuff is the event store going forward, and we're not getting end of month event stores anymore.
Oh, they're just done with fun event stores forever. Because I really like the event stores, and it sounds like they're gone.
Me too.
Oh man, That is a big bummer, actually.
We can leave that for next time. We can talk about it more.
Yeah.
We'll see if they change.
Yeah. On that disappointing note, I want to thank Morty so much for as always being a pleasure to do this
Thanks
podcast with, and always learn a lot, and always have so much fun that I end up not sleeping enough.
Sorry.
No, that's meant as a compliment. not a complaint.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm also trying to I would like to try and get I think it would be cool if we can get our podcast to 2 hours. Maybe that's mostly like me not being organized enough. And maybe some of it just has to be done in editing. But it's like right now it's 11 p.m. Saturday. And so I had a stream earlier. So I'm just I'm a terrible, you come here fresh and you got a bunch of stuff to talk about. And I'm always after about 2 hours, I'm just running on fumes. So I think maybe, but we had a lot to talk about. This was a double. This was
because we missed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Basically, you guys got 2 podcasts at once. So next time it will be under 2 hours, because I think that's a more manageable size for people to listen to later on the VOD and stuff. Hopefully we can keep it informative and entertaining. That's kind of our goal. So if you have any feedback or comments or things you guys want to hear us talk about or focus on or not do, leave a comment on the YouTube video. That's going to be up here in about 2 minutes. So bye, YouTube. Thanks for hanging out. Oh my God, Dustin had a bunch of comments. You know what? I'm going to take a moment to read some of his chats. He said, hi. Talked about certain Squall has 5,000% hazard protection on board. True. Once you all artifacts in the gameplay Enterprise D officially classed as an explorer, but it's more related to battleship-sized ships. Yep. When is G5, G6 scrapping coming out to CFC? Yeah, we don't know. They specifically were supposed to do G5 scrapping this year, but then they said it's not happening this year. Why does Mr. Tiger seem to have a better handle on Star Trek Fleet Command than Mr. Connor? I can't answer that. Do the building first and catch up on research later. Yes, that's good advice. Thank you, Dustin. Strange Command ship had native hazard protection on board. I don't have the squall yet. I'm working on it. Imagine putting the new mining tech on the Devore and the Fuchsia. It actually wouldn't do a lot because they already have such a high base mining percent on Conclat that they wouldn't benefit from it much. And then why do we need to pay to change out Forbidden Tech? Because then if you didn't have, if there wasn't a cost with switching Forbidden Tech or Chaos Tech, it would just be like an extra officer slot, right? Like it would be no different than officers. I think from a game design standpoint, having something like Forbidden Tech that is like kind of a semi-permanent fixture on your ship is interesting because you think about which of my ships am I going to put which Forbidden Tech on? And I like it. I think it's interesting for it to have a cost. So you have to think about it and be strategic about switching it instead of just like deploying it like you would an officer. I just think rods need a higher cap and slightly more income. That's, I don't know. How do you feel about it, Morty?
I agree with you for sure. Like increase the cap. So if you don't do it every day, you can accumulate more. Because when G7 comes out, I imagine the cost is going to be even more. So if these issues aren't addressed now, they're going to be massive pain points for G7 when that happens.
Yeah, I appreciate all the comments, Dustin. I actually I forgot to turn on YouTube chat in my OBS. I have a way to do that now. I just forgot to do that before the stream. So next time I'll try and be more attentive to YouTube. But I do appreciate you watching. And everybody else, thank you so much for watching with us. And like I said, leave a like if you like the content. And we hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Okay, that's YouTube. All right, chat. Now we can talk shit about
Thanks,
YouTube.
Mosh.
Thank you.